4th down and 6. Old Bridge gotta have it. Shotgun formation. Nugent, a lot of time. Rolls out. He's running out of space. Will roll the other way. They look for the end zone. Touchdown!
Rowan heading for the touchpad with the lead. And the Props will take the men's 400-yard freestyle relay.
Andrews will be in shotgun. He takes the snap, makes the handoff. They'll throw it down the left sideline. He's got a wide open receiver. He's got the touchdown. Motion man is Simmons. Trotman throwing towards Simmons down the field, and he makes the catch in traffic for a Bearcats touchdown. Back to pass, middle of the field. The catch is made by Britt. She's off to the races at the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10. Britt is in for the score.
Back on in, here's Yoxon. Yoxon to the backhand, trying to go to the front, makes the move, a shot, and he scores!
Gracie comes set and delivers. And that's it on the ground to second. Throw to first, in time, and the ball game is over. South Shore survives a late scare, and they are the 2024 New York State Little League Baseball champions.
Live from Stewart Memorial Field in Flemington, New Jersey, the PDF Sports Network is proud to welcome you into coverage of Old Bridge Knights high school football. Tonight, the 6-1 Knights come in riding a 4-game winning streak as they take on the 4-3 Red Devils of Hunterdon Central. Good evening, everybody. My name is Joe Foreman alongside Nicholas Bavona. And Nick, the Knights have been playing incredible football for the last month. Their lone defeat coming against Piscataway is a distant memory, and they have been dominant on both sides of the ball during each of the last 4 weeks. Tonight, the Knights hit the road for an out-of-division matchup against a Hunterdon Central team that they defeated 35-8 last season. So you get the sense the confidence level for this Old Bridge squad is high as we have kickoff to get underway from Flemington. Nick, you and I got here just in time to get on the air ahead of kickoff for tonight's game. We scrambled to get all set up, but we are here in time for kickoff. We'll share some of the information we had in store for our pregame as the broadcast progresses. But for now, the Old Bridge offense will take the field for the first time tonight, led by quarterback Brody Nugent.
And once we get the graphic situated, Joe, just got to get our scoreboard ready for that. But, yeah, let's see what this Old Bridge team could do. Looking to make it 5 straight wins with a win tonight.
Nugent in an empty shotgun backfield. 4 receivers out there for the Knights on their first offensive snap of the game. Ball at the Old Bridge 22-yard line to get things started. Nugent takes the snap and will keep it. He has good blocking, finds a hole. He's across the 40, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. Touchdown, Brody Nugent. On the first offensive snap of the game, Old Bridge takes it to the house for 6. Nugent strikes again against this Red Devils team. He had a 90-yard touchdown run against them last year.
78 yards on the ground right there, Joe, to get things started on the first play of the game. You can't ask much more out of your offensive line, and, of course, your starting quarterback. Great protection, gets that sideline view, and finds nothing but green grass for the open score. What a start to this game for the Knights.
Not many quarterbacks have that kind of breakaway speed, Nick, and Brody Nugent on the game's first snap goes 78 yards. That sends a big message to get us started here in Flemington as the extra point is good by Michael Ferretto. Knights in front, 7-0, just 18 seconds into the opening quarter. And Nick, I know you're hard at work with the graphics right now, but you and I had the highlights from last year's game ready to go for our pregame show. We'll get a look at those a bit later, perhaps in between quarters when we have some time. But in that game last year, it was Hunterdon Central that struck first. They led 8-0 after going for 2 following an opening drive touchdown. The Knights were held without points on their first 2 drives of the game last season. Not so this year, as Old Bridge is in for 6, just 18 seconds into the opening quarter. And that has to feel pretty good for this Knights team. They've had a lot of decisive wins, and there was an air of confidence around this team coming into this matchup. That being said, they know how good this Hunterdon Central team is. This team is especially good out of division. That's something we were going to highlight during the pregame as well, but Old Bridge has to be feeling really good given the score and the situation right now. We'll see if their defense can continue the string of dominance that we've seen on that side of the ball for the better part of a month and a half now. Old Bridge defensively has been fantastic for the last several weeks.
Yeah, you can't ask much more, Joe, out of this defense and what they've been doing this season. And now if you're Hunterdon, you got to wonder how do you bounce back after giving up that first touchdown play on the first play of the game. Going to be huge for this offense to try to bounce back.
The Knights will kick it off here. 2 men back deep. Kick taken by Kingsley. Kingsley with a nice run back. He's across the 30, across the 40, headed across midfield. 1 man to beat, and he is taken down by Xavier Diaz inside of the Knights' 40-yard line. What an answer back for Hunterdon Central. A big kick return sets them up in plus territory.
Yeah, that certainly will help you, Joe, getting that kickoff return, getting it inside of plus territory, inside of Old Bridge territory. So a great opportunity coming up right here for the Red Devils.
Hunterdon Central will start this drive at the Old Bridge 33-yard line. A huge return by Kingsley. And you can't ever discount special teams. A big play on special teams for the Red Devils has them set up nicely on the opening drive. They come out in the shotgun. Drew Cella at quarterback once again for the Red Devils. We got a good look at him last year, along with his number 1 receiver in that game last season, James Magno. Cella looking to throw downfield toward Magno, and he makes the catch. Tackled at the 1-yard line. Big strike through the air for the Red Devils on their first snap. And Nick, these two teams have come out throwing haymakers.
Back and forth action, making it very tough for me here at the engineer desk. But what a play right here. Perfect throw. Just 1 man to beat, and just barely the Knights get the tackle. But it's now 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
What a start for these two teams. Old Bridge scores on 1 play. Big return for the Red Devils on the ensuing kickoff, and 1 pass play has them down at the 1-yard line, 1st and goal. And keeping it is Cella. He will power his way in, and Hunterdon Central answers back with a touchdown of their own. It took less than a minute for them to pull to within 1.
Well, Joe, I think one of the focal points that we were going to talk about going into tonight's game was going to be the factor of how can this Red Devils team go back and forth with Old Bridge. They get up the opening touchdown on the first play of the game. They answer back with a quick kickoff return. 1 pass play gets them inside the goal line to the 1, and Cella gets the rushing touchdown on the QB keep. And it's a quick 7-6 score already, just a few minutes into this game, not even 2 minutes in to the opening kickoff.
We might have arrived a bit later than we would have liked, Nick. The action did not wait for us, as that extra point
Goes in.
A bit short, but it did travel over the crossbar and contact that support post. A very awkward-looking extra point, but it is good, and we are tied at 7. Nick, I think you're finally settled in. Am I right?
I think so. Let's hope at least.
Well, let's hope the action doesn't settle down. What a start to this game. But while we have some time, Nick, let's cover some of what we were going to talk about during the pregame. And there's really not much we can say about this Knights defense that hasn't been said already. And a long, lengthy streak has been snapped for Old Bridge. They improved their consecutive quarters shutout streak to 15 in the win over Monroe. Very quickly in this game, that streak is over, not even 1 minute and 20 seconds in.
Yeah.
So, crazy start. The Old Bridge shutout streak on defense is over, thanks in large part to a big play on special teams. But what has stood out to you so far about this defensive unit for the Knights?
Well, I think what's really stood out to them is earlier in the season, Joe, we saw this rush defense for the Knights kind of struggle, and they've gotten a little bit better over the season. And I think because of what they've been doing overall on the year in terms of their rush defense, that's really what's been improving. It stood out. It's forcing the other teams to get passing. As here's a chance for the Knights. They might have something here on this kickoff return. The 50, the 40, all the way toward to 30, and out of bounds. It looks like just at around the 20-yard line. Looks like to be at around the 17-yard line. Another incredible kickoff return, Joe.
All right, Nick, so what we are going to try and do in between this possession and the next one, we are going to try and relocate inside.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is try and, you'll have to take one laptop, I'll take the other, you get the mixer with your other hand, I'll get the power supply with my other hand, and hopefully we can transport everything indoors after this next drive. So once again, we may go offline briefly following the conclusion of this possession, as it looks like, Nick, they are going to move the Knights back.
There was a flag.
There was a flag on the kick return. So the big run back on the kickoff by Diaz was negated by a flag. So Old Bridge is going to move back.
And, you know, honestly, Joe, that's been the one thing that if you ask the Knights what's been frustrating about the season, which has been a really good season for you, it's been those penalties. Penalties has been a problem for the Knights the majority of the year. That's a big penalty right there because instead of being inside of the red zone, they're now going to be starting just at around, it looks to be the 36-yard line on their second drive of this game.
Nugent in an empty shotgun set. 4 receivers to the left side of this formation. And we've seen this from the Knights from time to time. They do not always motion a man across the formation from that stacked side. And they do not here, but they will throw a screen. That is complete. Good blocking ahead. And another big gain for Old Bridge on this first down screen pass. With the reception, Aiden Rios takes it out across midfield. First down, Knights.
The blocking for both of these teams has been incredible so far, Joe. We've seen it on the special teams, the opening play of this game for Old Bridge, and they get a nice screen pass towards the outside, get a first down, and now for the second time in this game, or I should say technically the first time in this game, they have a drive inside of Hunterdon's plus territory at around the 46.
Nugent once again in an empty shotgun set. And as we've seen so many times, Nick, Old Bridge loves to hurry to the line. That does not mean they will snap quickly. Pre-snap motion man, Allsbrook, he takes the handoff. Good blocking on the outside. Once again, Allsbrook looks to turn it upfield. A flag flies.
It's going to be in the holding more than likely, Joe, especially at that spot in the field.
Flag came out as Allsbrook was brought down just shy of the Red Devils' 35-yard line. But as you said, Nick, thrown in the area of holding, that flag is going to bring this one back.
Another big penalty right there for the Knights. As I mentioned, that's something that they've been trying to fix all season, and it's really hurt them in a lot of their drives this year. That penalty now negates a nice run right there by Allsbrook and puts them back into their own territory at around the 47-yard line. Still first down.
So the Knights back up for a 1st and 20 on their own side of midfield, ball at the Old Bridge 47-yard line. Empty shotgun backfield once again for Nugent. 4 receivers to the left of the formation. Nugent once again throws the quick screen. Rios has blocking ahead. And he fumbled the football, but it ends up out of bounds. So the Knights get a nice chunk of yardage back. Though Rios did fumble the football at the end of that play. Fortunately for Old Bridge, it lands out of bounds.
And not only that, but it went forward. And instead of them being about maybe 5 yards short of the first down marker, they're now 2 yards shy of that first down marker. So second and about 2 upcoming for Old Bridge. Got a man in motion here.
Takes the shotgun snap, swings it out. Rios has blocking once again, and he's pushed out of bounds around the 25-yard line. So the Knights overcome a holding call on the screen pass to begin the drive and turn what was a 1st and 20 into a first down at the 25.
And Joe, of course, I'd be remiss of not talking about one player in particular that's been big for the Knights this season, Chase Rizzo. Not in this game tonight. We haven't seen him so far into this game. I think we heard that he is out for this game. That's a big loss for this offense.
No question about it. He had a big game last week. One could argue it was certainly a breakout game for him on the ground.
Back-to-back 100 rushing yard games for him the last two.
Nugent once again in an empty shotgun set. 4 receivers to the left. Nugent throwing downfield, has a wide open Cam Olivencia. Big stiff arm, and Olivencia is taken down inside the 10-yard line. So the Knights continue to march downfield on this their second drive. It took them one play on drive number 1. And we've seen a bit more from this offense in the passing game here on drive number 2. You have to like this start for Old Bridge.
Yeah, and, Nugent has been doing this the last couple weeks, too. They've been running the ball great, Joe, but their passing game is still getting a very good portion of what they've been doing offensively on the air. And how about the formation we're about to see right now?
The order of chivalry, as I've called this one. 4 men in the offensive backfield. Nugent will keep on the direct snap. And Nugent still on his feet, powering towards the goal line, is in for a Knights touchdown. No flags on the field as Old Bridge goes in front by 6 for a second time. And Nick, keep in mind, after this extra point, we are going to relocate. Did they give them the touchdown? There was a signal on the far side, but they are waving a lot of the Knights off the field. So I thought maybe they overruled the touchdown call. The 6 points are on the board, and they're going to say Nugent.
He was short.
Well, it has been announced as a touchdown, Nick, so this could be a 2-point try. And Nugent is in a second time. Now they are going to send out the kicker here.
Now.
So that was a touchdown on the second attempt, not the first one.
So it looks like he was just shy of that end zone marker, just gets it that time around, and now it is officially 13-7 Old Bridge.
I think they ruled forward progress had been stopped on the first attempt. So Nugent ruled short of the end zone. And on the second try, he takes it in for a touchdown. That will bring on Ferretto for the extra point. Following this kick, Nick and I are going to try and quickly relocate inside. Our microphones will be muted. Our stream could go offline. We'll be right back here on the PDF Sports Network. Old Bridge in front, 14-7. All right, Joe Foreman and Nicholas Pavona back with you here on the PDF Sports Network. We have relocated inside. It is Red Devils football just beyond midfield as they hand off on what was a first down and very long. First and 15 handoff goes for a gain of about 4 yards.
Handoff to Osei, a gain of about 3 yards. 3rd and 12.
Be a second down and about 14. I mistakenly said, Nick, a gain of 4. They're 4 yards behind the original line of scrimmage as Cello will keep. Throw downfield. Magno has the catch, and he's tackled maybe a half yard short of a first down. But that will bring up a 3rd down and very short here. So a big opportunity for the Red Devils now after the Knights took what was a first and very long on their last drive and picked up a first. What was a first and very long for Hunterdon Central now could become a first down, and they'll line up in the gun here on 3rd and short. Direct snap to Cella. He lowers his shoulder and picks up just enough for a first down.
He's a big part of this offense, Joe. We saw earlier in this game the big touchdown pass, or I should say the touchdown run, the pass to get the touchdown run. And he's been doing this all season for this Red Devils team. Gets the first down right there on the keeper. And they're getting closer and closer to now the red zone, trying to tie this game once again.
Their opening drive began with a big pass play. They quickly turned that into 6. Cella will look to throw here. Good protection. Throw downfield and nearly picked off by Xavier Diaz. And Nick, if there's a ball hawk on this defense, Diaz is that man. And last time these two teams met, he had 3 INTs.
Yeah, we'll see right here, Joe. He had 2 receivers down the field in that spot, but if you look towards the end of it, a little bit underthrown. It looks maybe on that play that forced it to be almost intercepted, and that's been a problem for the Red Devils this season in terms of their offense has been turnovers. I think that's what they're trying to avoid here in this game tonight. You can't allow Old Bridge to get extra opportunities in this game.
2nd and 10, Cella rolling out to his right on the design boot, and he is taken down behind the line of scrimmage. 2 Knights converging on him, combined for a sack, and that will bring up a 3rd down and 12.
Nice job by that Knights defense, recognizing that QB run right there. And now, if you're the Red Devils here, Joey, we got to try to figure out what you do on 3rd and long. Got to assume that they're going to probably try to get it a little bit more manageable of a 4th down on this spot. But, of course, if you find something down the field in the passing game, we've got a shot.
3rd and 12. Cella looking toward his bench, much like we see from Brody Nugent on many occasions with the Knights in possession of the football. And Cella will look to throw on 3rd and long. He steps up, has running room. And Cella will pick up a first down and more. He lowers the shoulder and is brought down just outside the 10-yard line.
How about that play right there? Cella making it easy right there. Looking somewhat like Brody Nugent, what we've seen, Joe, over the past 2 years. He sees nothing down the field, finds the open grass, and right up the middle, avoids 2 tackles there, lowers the shoulder, lowers the helmet, gets the first down run. It'll be 1st and goal upcoming.
Drew Cella does not shy away from contact when carrying the football. Did not hesitate to lower the shoulder and challenge those Knights in the secondary. They spotted him at the 9, so it is 1st and goal. Once again, Cella in the shotgun, and he will hand off up the middle to Valise, and Valise will take it close to the goal line. Looks like he was brought down near the 2.
Looks like maybe the 2 or 3 yard line on that play.
That will bring up a 2nd and goal.
About to hit the 3-minute mark remaining here in the first quarter. What a first quarter it has been.
These two teams have been really impressive so far, Nick. We knew this was going to be a heavyweight battle, and they have not disappointed as Cella is stood up, and the Knights pile on top of him as the football came out.
Looks like he was down on the whistle, so looks like to be at the 1 yard line. He's just shy of the end zone.
Xavier Diaz was ready to present that football to his sideline, but he's called back over. And it will be 3rd and goal. And you have to think, Nick, inside the 1, 3rd and goal, probably 2 plays to get this.
Yeah, and we saw earlier they had this spot where on 1st and goal at the 1, they gave it right to Cella. He ran it right himself on that QB option play himself, going straight up the middle. We'll see if they do it again here. You could maybe see them try to push the pile to get into the end zone, but they are setting it up in shotgun.
Red Devils in the gun. Old Bridge stacks the box, and Cella lowers his shoulder and dives in for the touchdown. Cue the lights, Nick, as this home crowd is elated. The Red Devils back to within 1 pending the extra point.
A high-scoring game early already, Joe. 27 points combined so far, and we're still just a few minutes shy of the end of the first quarter. Can't ask for a better start. If you're either of these teams' offenses, the defense is still trying to figure out a way to stop the opposing offense.
And what haven't we seen from these two offenses so far, Nick? The Knights come out, Brody Nugent, big run, touchdown. We've seen that plenty of times before. Coming right back, big kick return for the Red Devils, and then Cella connects downfield with Magno for the big completion. That sets up a touchdown run by the Red Devil signal caller. Next drive for Old Bridge, we saw a bit more in the air. A screen game, a couple of throws downfield. The Knights score a second time, and answering right back, Hunterdon Central, straight down the field, methodical drive, well-balanced drive. We saw a little bit of everything from all of their playmakers on that possession. If you're both of these teams, you have to be pretty pleased with the way you've played offensively so far.
Yeah, you have to be elated with how the game has started. I mean, Old Bridge, of course, scores in the first play of the game. You think that would maybe start things going wrong in the wrong way for the Red Devils, but they have answered tremendously in this game on the offensive side against the Knights defense that coming into the Knights game, Joe, in the 4-game winning streak that they were outscoring opponents 152-7. That is how impressive this defense has been over the past month. But right so far, the Red Devils have done a great job in scoring this amount of points, and they're showing that they can go back and forth with this team.
Before tonight's game, Nick, we said it before, the Knights had not allowed any points in 15 quarters. Allsbrook receives the kickoff, makes one man miss, and is tripped up just shy of the 30. And that's where the Knights will get started on drive number 3. So both of these teams 2 for 2 in scoring on offensive possessions. Which defense will come up with the first stop, Nick? I'm not sure that's the storyline we expected coming into this game.
Yeah, it might really come down to the way this game started, Joe. It could come down to who has the ball at the end to see who maybe wins this game. I think one of our talking points going into this game was if Hunterdon was not going to be able to stop this Old Bridge offense, how many points were they going to score to keep themselves in this game? They've done a good start so far, keeping it 14-14.
Without Chase Rizzo tonight, Old Bridge has run their offense almost exclusively out of this empty shotgun set. Every once in a while, Rizzo would join Nugent back there as Allsbrook takes the handoff off the pre-snap motion, and that's a good tackle to prevent Allsbrook from cutting up field. A pair of Red Devils in to stop him after a gain of 3. That will bring up a 2nd down and 7.
And I think, also looking back at, we talked about earlier, the Rizzo injury, that hurts you a lot also because now you're trying to figure out who's going to be that running back for you tonight. Is Nugent just going to do it himself in terms of the running game? You've seen Allsbrook on a couple of plays as well, get some rush attempts. So it's got to be a next man up mentality for this Knights offense and trying to figure out who's going to be that guy that with Nugent can get you some rushing yards in this game.
Once again, Nugent in the offensive backfield on his own. Allsbrook in motion for a second straight snap as Nugent will keep. And Nugent powers forward for a gain of 3 on 2nd down. That will bring up a 3rd and 4, but that play well defended by the Red Devils. How many times have we seen it? A defender gets caught flat-footed looking at Allsbrook, looking at Rizzo, and then Nugent accelerates through the hole for a huge gain.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because you're waiting to see what's going to happen. Nugent just has been doing this all season. Over this 4-game stretch, he's been averaging about 62 yards a game, too, so he's getting a lot of good yardage.
Nugent will hand off, and Jeremiah Dixon picks up the first down. And Nick, I think that is the first time we've seen Old Bridge begin their pre-snap setup with a man alongside Nugent in the backfield. To be fair, I did miss a couple of plays as we were getting reset, but I think that's accurate.
Yeah, it's a good play right here, Joe. It's kind of one where, we talked about Nugent and how dangerous he is. That's basically one of those inside zone read option type of plays where if Nugent sees something, he can just keep it himself and run. He found something in the middle of the field for Dixon for the first down.
Quick screen was set up and immediately blown up. The pass was dropped, but all over that play was Connor Simpson. Even if that's caught, Rios would not have had a chance.
I think the Knights are actually grateful that he dropped the ball on that play.
I think so. That's probably a loss of 4 or 5 yards if he hangs on.
The Knights have had a drop issue as well this season too, Joe, but that one you could be okay with because you would have lost some yards for sure on that play.
I think a lot of the issues that this team had offensively early in the year were relegated to that portion of the season, the first 2, maybe 3 weeks at most. And that's what you want. If you're going to have those issues, iron them out early. Nugent looking downfield, throws deep. Rios is there, and he makes the catch inside the 20, brought down inside the 5. First and goal, Old Bridge.
I thought initially he was just going to run there, Joe. Nugent had a lot of field on the left sideline.
Nick, did he get in?
I don't think he did, Joe.
I didn't think he did, but I think they ruled it a touchdown. We'll have to run that back. I thought his knee was down with the ball short of the end zone.
And initially, too, when Nugent threw that ball, I thought it was a bit underthrown. It would have been maybe intercepted.
He was definitely short.
He was
Nick.
definitely short of the 1
yard line.
It
wasn't close. It wasn't close.
They gave him the touchdown.
Wow. Old Bridge on the positive end of a very good spot. And they will line up for the extra point. Ferretto on. Benford the long snapper. Griffin Nugent the holder. And the PAT is good. And Nick, that is how we end the first quarter, or perhaps begin the second, depending on how you look at it. 35 points on the board for these two teams. Wow. It has been an offensive slugfest, if you can apply that to the game of football. But, wow, what a start. What a game this has been. We're just 12 minutes in.
There's not much more you really can do justice in saying what has gone so far in this game. I mean, Old Bridge starts this game on a high note with the touchdown, the first play. Hunterdon Central, though, responds, getting a good kickoff return. One pass play and a rushing touchdown later. They tie the game. Old Bridge answers back. They answer back. Old Bridge answers back. And as you said it, both these defenses are still looking for the first stop of this game. It really could come down to who gets that first stop that maybe comes out on top with the victory here tonight.
It has been really impressive to watch these two offenses work. And, Nick, we've said it many times already. This Old Bridge defense, so good all season. We're not accustomed to seeing them give up 2 touchdowns in a game, let alone 2 1/4. So this game, very far from over. We are just 12 minutes in. 35 points have been scored. And the Knights are set to kick off to the Red Devils to begin quarter number 2. And part of what you and I were going to touch on in the pregame, very often this year, and given it is a very different schedule the Red Devils have played, but it's often been, as the Knights will squib this one, and this should give Hunterdon Central pretty good field position.
And I don't disagree with what they did there, Joe, because on the 2 kickoffs that they have allowed in this game, it has been a very good return on each kickoff. So they would rather kick it short, give them the field position that they probably would have gotten either way. They didn't want to give up the extra yardage, potentially, on that kickoff return.
But the point I was about to make, Nick, is one of the storylines for the Red Devils coming into this game over the course of the season has been give up 14 or more, and typically they've ended up on the short end. It's been a very different schedule for them as opposed to the teams the Knights have played. Really no crossover on those schedules, but I was going to pose the question to you pregame. Is it realistic to expect to hold this Knights offense under 14? They've already crossed that threshold. And once again, the Red Devils will look to match as that first down carry goes nowhere.
You'll see if they give him any loss on the play. Thought maybe initially a loss of about 1 or 2 yards on that one. Looks like they gave him a loss of 1. And I think, when it comes down to it for the Red Devils in this game, they've been doing a good job so far trading those punches back and forth. But at some point in this game, it's going to come down to one of these defenses getting that stop and giving the offense an opportunity on the other side to make it a two-possession game. That's what the Knights are trying to do right here.
Well, that's just it, Nick. What defense will come up with that first stop as Cella has a wide open man over the middle. It's Jaden Cozy with it, and he is down at the 25-yard line. Big completion for this Red Devils offense. They are showing no signs of slowing down.
I mean, Joe, you're looking at it here on the replay, on the play action. They left him wide open in the middle of the field. There was not a Knight defender in sight up until they got around the 40-yard line. A great play call right there. Set up a first down in plus territory.
We haven't seen a team move the ball through the air like this against the Knights all season, Nick. And the one team that had a good deal of offensive success against Old Bridge in Piscataway, they did that through the ground game.
Right.
Cella will look to throw again, tucks it, and cannot escape the pocket. He is taken down as the Knights have another sack. First one in there for Old Bridge was Zach Florio.
And I think it's probably a blessing in disguise we didn't get to the keys of the game, because I would have said going into this game, if you're the Knights or if you're the Red Devils, that you need to try to expose this Knights ground game in terms of getting the run like we saw earlier in the year and not force yourselves to throw the football. But they've been throwing the football at will, and they've been doing a great job of it so far.
There was a jump on the Old Bridge defensive line. The Knights contending that they were drawn into that movement, but no flag. Cella in the gun will look to throw once again. Pressure coming. He steps up and runs out of time. Down he goes. The Knights in there for a second straight sack. Florio and Kassoff in there to bring Cella down.
And that's something that's big now. Back-to-back sacks for this defense after giving up that big passing play. Now sets up 3rd and 16. We've seen a 3rd and 12 already converted. If you're the Knights, got to avoid giving up anything. We saw last time on that 3rd and long. Cella took it himself and got the first. They've got to be wary of maybe of him running it again here if there's nothing open down the field.
Well, Nick, if you end up in a 4th and 16, what do? They're at about the 31-yard line.
Yeah.
Ideally, you'd like to pick up some of this and then go for it. Or perhaps you get it down around the 20 and maybe you kick. The Knights, Michael Ferretto, certainly capable of a kick from that distance. I don't know if you try that, though. It's very early. Cella will look to throw and make that point move. He airs it out. Downfield. Magno there! And he makes the grab! Touchdown, Red Devils!
Are you kidding me?
What a grab! James Magno goes over the top of Brody Nugent to make an all-hands, over-the-shoulder grab for the Hunterdon Central touchdown.
That's one of those throws where if you're the quarterback, you make the throw and you say, all right, I trust my guy to make this catch. Not only did he make the catch, he adjusted to the football, got back on it, and got a big touchdown. And again, it's another response by Hunterdon Central. They have tied the game once again, 21-21, 42 points. We're still awaiting a stop in this game.
And how good have these teams been on 3rd down, Nick? 3rd and long, no problem. 1st and 20.
It's not an issue.
No problem. You get behind the sticks, no matter. We'll make it up on 3rd. This time it's Hunterdon Central with the big connection on 3rd and long. Cella to Magno for 6. And we are even at 21. Just about 3 minutes gone by in this second quarter.
This is one of those games where if you blink, you might miss a lot of points so far in this game. Cannot believe the start that we've had with both of these offenses, and it's really at the point where if you're Old Bridge, this is definitely concerning where your secondary right now. You haven't seen this all season. The secondary has been a big focal point of what Old Bridge has done this year, but they have struggled mightily so far here in this first half to stop the passing game, and they've got to figure something out because on that one, you're thinking, okay, one-on-one, Nugent, we've seen kind of a couple of interceptions on the season. You're hoping that he can make the play. No avail right there. Tie game once again.
And we didn't get a chance pregame to go back and look at the highlights from the meeting last year, but that game could not have looked much more different from this one. As Diaz has some room on the return, but he's taken down just past the 30-yard line. Nick, last year this Red Devils offense struck first, went straight down the field, nothing the rest of the way. Old Bridge got off to a very slow start in that game before ultimately scoring 35 points. And, you know, looking at those highlights yesterday and putting together that reel, I'm not sure either of us could have expected this.
Well, if you remember in that game, you mentioned it earlier on with Diaz having 3 interceptions. Something that I was looking into this game going into the night. When the Red Devils have lost this season, the turnovers have been a problem. When they've won, it's because they haven't been throwing a lot of turnovers in this game. So, of course, keeping the ball definitely helps you. That's without saying. They've done a good job so far because they haven't made any big mistakes in this game. You don't want to give that to the Knights if given the opportunity.
And Nugent flushed out to his right. Will throw downfield, incomplete. Looking for Allsbrook, who had a step over the top. Tight window along that sideline. And the incompletion brings up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Nugent trying to scramble on that play. The pressure got to him at the last second and did have his receiver, but just a little bit overthrown on that play. And we talked about it earlier with, you're trying to figure out what you're going to do in the ground game here tonight. It looks like it's going to be a little bit more of a pass-heavy offense here for Old Bridge in this game. And so far, it hasn't really bit them. It's worked so far in this game. But you would like to get some rushing capability. We saw in the first play of the game it worked to perfection. But can they keep this sustained for a full 4 quarters?
And they have backed up the Knights 10 yards here.
So it looks like there was a holding on that play. This could be.
Didn't see the flag in live action.
I didn't see it either, but that's the only thing I could think
to be
of.
Holding.
It had to be.
Had to be. And you get that quite often when your quarterback's flushed out. I think on that edge you'll typically see the linemen try and protect their signal caller via the hold as that screen pass is complete. Rios in the open field, and he's up the sideline and tripped up just shy of the 50. How involved has he been in this offensive game plan tonight?
Now, we have to see, Joe, because the officials haven't moved yet.
There's
the
a
chains
flag.
haven't moved.
There's a flag.
Yeah. Looks like another hold.
That flag got lost along the Old Bridge sideline, but they'll back the Knights up once again. And Nick, I said it before, it's been 1st and long, 2nd and long, 3rd and long, no problem so far.
This is 1st in a country mile right now.
It's 1st and 30 now. This seems a bit problematic.
Well, this is what I mentioned earlier, too. The penalties have been a problem for Old Bridge this season and some of their games that have cost them some of their drives. And in a game where both teams have been punching back and forth, penalties can really hurt you right now because if they aren't able to get anything throughout the rest of this drive, then the Red Devils have got a great chance to get on top for the first time in this game.
Well, if the Knights can work their way out of this one, that would be something we haven't seen yet in this game, and we've seen a lot from these two offenses, a lot of good things. And if you're the Red Devils defensively, you have to be sensing an opportunity here to get off the field and give the ball back to your offense with a chance to take the lead.
Watch the wide receiver screen, I'm thinking, on this play with 5 wide, and Nugent set up alone in the shotgun.
Watch the fake screen. They tried it earlier. And
there it is.
Will keep it on a run. And he goes helmet first into the turf, but picked up a nice gain there. Looks like he picked up about 14 yards. Less than that.
Yeah, I'm trying to do my math.
A good carry for Nugent. It wasn't quite 14. I don't know why I thought the sticks.
The sticks are, yeah.
A bit further. It wasn't 14 yards.
Yeah.
It was closer to 10. It was closer to 10.
I'll give it 2nd and 20.
I think that's fair. Maybe even if you're feeling generous, you could make it a 2nd and 19.
Yeah.
Nugent once again alone in the offensive backfield. Rios the motion man. High snap, fake handoff. Nugent will keep, and he's immediately wrestled down. That play was read really well in the offensive backfield by number 68, who I do not have on the roster. So that jersey tucked inside the uniform might be concealing the number. And indeed, that is a 68. Not on the roster, Nick, but really good play there on the backside pursuit. And if you're going to take down Nugent from behind on a play like that, you really have to read that play quickly. You have to make the determination that he's kept the football and get on him, because he can accelerate through the hole just as quick as any runner out of the offensive backfield.
Here's another 3rd and long in this game, Joe. Can the Knights get another one?
Nugent looks to throw, has some time, steps up, throwing, complete. Rios has it and picks up the first as he is thrown down at midfield. Brody Nugent buys some time, stepped up through the pocket, rolled to his left, and finds Aiden Rios, who has had his fingerprints all over this first half.
That is a frustrating one if you're the defense because you got some pressure in the backfield. You set your linebacker up to try to make sure that Nugent wouldn't run, and because of that, he found the open receiver just around midfield, gets the first down, and extends this drive for the Knights.
Well, Nick, we said it, 1st and 20, 2nd and long, 3rd and long. Now you can add 1st and 30 to the list. No problem. The Knights turn it into yet another first down, and neither defense has been able to get off the field yet.
The clock wasn't running on that play, so that they stopped it for a second.
All right, they're going to put 6:37 on the clock.
If you didn't hear it from up here, the referee on the field said it too.
We know that panel, Nick, the old Daktronics 5000.
Of course. Something I've been synonymous with since my freshman year of high school.
So when you were a freshman in high school, was I working athletics yet? No, I was a year away. I'm 3 years older than you, so I was a year away. They will line up. Dixon in the backfield with Nugent, and Nugent will keep off the play fake. Rolling to his right, he has a man wide open, and he does find him complete. That's Olivencia, but Nick?
There's another flag.
There is another flag on the field, and
it's got to be holding again, Joe.
You would expect it is holding against Old Bridge, so.
I think that's their 4th holding of the night, and their 3rd on this drive.
Well, eventually, when you have two teams as good as these, one of these defenses is going to find a way to get off the field if the offenses continue to put themselves behind the 8 ball.
So it wasn't. I don't think it was holding. It was the referee.
It could have been an ineligible man downfield.
Yeah.
If you go back and check the replay,
that's exactly what he did.
I usually have a pretty good eye for those. I did not catch it on that play.
The ref went to his hat, so that's an eligible man down the field. So it's a 5-yard penalty.
An eligible man downfield on Dante Plucino.
Now the costly penalty, though, negates the first down and makes it 1st and about 15.
Well, you'll take 1st and 15 over 1st and 20, but the point still remains true, Nick. You can't afford to put yourself behind the sticks time and time again.
Once again, Nugent setting up by himself in shotgun. We'll see what he does here.
Dixon, the motion man. And a false start is called against the Knights. Here we go again, Nick.
Back to 1st and 20.
The drive began with what ultimately became a 1st and 30. The Knights now face another 1st and 20. I'm not sure if I've ever seen a drive that included both a 1st and 30 and a 1st and 20 at all. If I have, I highly doubt that drive ended in points. Highly doubt it.
So what you're saying is the Knights are trying to make some history, maybe? If you want to call it history?
We've been at it now for 4 years here on PDF, and every time we say that we think we've seen it all, we're mistaken.
Yeah.
I've just stopped saying it at this point.
Yeah, you can't.
Live in the moment. Once again, Nugent alone in the backfield. He will look to throw, has some time, throws middle, complete, and they're going to say the knee of Aiden Rios was down, but he gets back about 13 of the 20 they needed for a first down, and it's hard to believe, Nick, after all that, it's 2nd and 7.
Yeah, but they go quickly to the line right here, Joe. And let's see what they do here on 2nd down.
They will snap quickly this time. Nugent looking deep for Allsbrook, and he makes the catch inside the 10, stays on his feet, and Amari Allsbrook is in for the 4th Knights touchdown of this first half.
Hey, Joe, good luck next week with the highlight reel for the next week's package. This is insane.
Wow. 48 points on the board between these two teams. 4:22 to go in the first half. Which side is going to blink first on offense?
And, Joe, I don't know if you saw it on the replay. An unbelievable throw by Nugent on that one.
Great throw.
First off, he didn't have his receiver open until the very last second, and because of where he threw that ball, he gave his receiver enough room to get that open field, makes the over-the-shoulder catch, breaks the tackle into the end zone for another Knights touchdown.
Ferretto's extra point is up and good. 28-21. Old Bridge over Hunterdon Central. And we've covered a lot of football, Nick. Some at the high school level, all of that Old Bridge. Some in the arena game, some at the semi-pro level. Dave and I, of course, have covered the professional game in the country of Finland via the Maple League. I don't think I've ever covered a first half quite like this.
And I work for a professional sports team, and I haven't seen a game like this either.
You work for the New York Jets.
Yes.
Do you want to take back what you
No, I don't. Yeah.
Grew up a Jets fan, and it was
probably miserable for you.
a lot of heartache for me.
Yeah.
I still remember watching the Jets play in the AFC Championship against Pittsburgh. They looked completely dead in the water, and late in that game, they had a chance to get off the field and just couldn't get that one last stop on defense. I was watching the game with my family, and they all gave up. I was there in front of that TV alone, still believing, until the very last down, and it didn't happen for them. And well, it was
one of those where if the Jets had won, we would have gotten a day off from school the next day, and let's just say that didn't happen.
You would have gotten a day off from school if
Yeah.
the Jets won.
Yeah. Some schools were allowing that for some reason.
Really?
Yeah.
I went to the wrong high school.
Well, I was in elementary school by then.
To be fair, when I was in high school, they were coming after me for my
Because that was, 2010?
I think it was 9 and 10 with the 2 years.
So I was still in elementary school by then.
Yeah. They were coming after me for attendance back then. So I definitely was not getting any free days off.
It was some were offer. So I had one class in 2006 when I was in elementary school for the Mets when they were in the NLCS. That was one where we could have gotten no homework for, I think, the week.
So the teacher was a Mets fan?
Yes.
Okay.
And then the school, later on when the Jets were in the championship game, I don't think it was both years, I think it was just one of the years, said if they win the game, then no school tomorrow. So I was rooting for the Jets that one day.
The best college professor I ever had, Monday night class, always made sure to get us out within the first 30 minutes of Monday Night Football.
Nice.
Do you know who that professor was?
I think I do.
Our colleague, David Pizzuto, who I'm sure is watching back at home.
Smart man.
Always made sure we got back home in time for the end of the first quarter at the very least. Considering that I had to walk it, I appreciated that. I would catch at least the second half. All right, Red Devils offense back out there. Fake handoff on first down. Magno with the catch. And he is taken down just past the 40. First down, Red Devils. They do not skip a beat on their first offensive snap.
Well, Joe, they did it again. Another play-action play right there. And again, fooling the Knights right up the middle. And that's been concerning, too. Is that how many receivers have we seen wide open in the middle of the field so far here in this first half against this Knights defense?
That's a really good point, Nick. And you could see it on that replay. The Knights were definitely drawn in by the play fake. And that gave Magno plenty of room over the middle. Cella not going to miss that throw.
There's another play action.
There's another play fake and another completion over the middle. This time going up to get it was Cozy. And it was 2 passes,
it was
2 first downs.
It certainly wasn't Cozy to him having to go up there and make that grab. That was a high throw. He's able to get it with his 2 hands and just make the catch, avoid the hit, and get the extra yards for the first down.
The hands of these Red Devil receivers have been on full display in this first half. That touchdown that Magno caught and that grab, both great catches, all hands, as Cella is going to be sacked. The Knights send 5 on first down, and this time they get home and make it 6 Knights that were on the rush there.
And you got the sense, show that they desperately needed that after getting bitten up by that play action on the first 2 plays. It looked like they were going to it again on that third play of the drive, and they finally got pressure to the quarterback to force 2nd and 13. But as we've seen so far, that's not a lot of yards for this Red Devils offense.
And that pass is
caught, but he went down. That's a big break for the Knights right there.
Yep. But that will set up a 3rd and 9. Sure beats what would have been a 3rd and 13.
You never know, because if he's able to angle himself and get breaking past that tackle, he might have that right sideline and go into the end zone.
It'll be 2nd and 9 for the Red Devils. Oh, 3rd and 9. I was looking at the scoreboard. 3rd and 9.
3rd and long. Chance for the Knights defense to get off the field. Neither side has registered a stop. Cella in the gun, trips to the right. He throws. Tipped and caught!
My goodness.
Wow! Noah Rios tipped it, and waiting there to make the grab is the receiver over the middle. That's Kingsley.
It was underthrown, and Red Devils get a big break on the play right there, Joe. I cannot believe that play right there. Good heads-up awareness to see where the batted ball was, find it in the open field, and he goes down with it. First down once again. A big play.
First down, Red Devils after a very unorthodox third down conversion. And
what is this play?
2 pitches. Cella, the ball carrier.
That might be the best 2-yard gain I've ever seen.
Maybe even the best 4-yard gain
Yeah,
I've ever seen.
It looks like a
Give him
couple
double
extra
that,
yards.
but the way this offense has been moving it, that is a very high-risk play in that situation. Very high risk.
Can I get that play call on Madden? I would like to do that one time.
Something tells me that the EA developers would have trouble engineering the defense's reaction to that play.
Give me a one-time opportunity in Madden to call that play.
Trips to the left. 2nd and 6. Pump fake. Cella throwing deep, incomplete.
Looked like he had him for a second. But a good coverage play right there, trying to get him one-on-one.
Kingsley, the intended target. And once again, Nick, it is 3rd down. We are running low on time in this first half. Just 54 seconds to go in the second quarter.
Here's a stat I would like to find out. Have we seen a 3rd down stop in this game?
No, there has not been a 4th down.
Okay, that's what I thought.
There has not been a 4th down in the game. I said it before, Nick. These two teams have been amazing on 3rd down, and I think what makes it even more impressive is how many of those have been 3rd and long.
Right. And with an upcoming 3rd and 6, the Knights will call their first timeout of this first half.
So the Knights have called timeout, and you would suspect that even if they get the ball back, they probably won't have much time. They would have to get off the field in 2 plays, and you would think that's going to leave them with no more than 40 seconds. So your focus here is keep this score where it is and do not allow the Red Devils to enter the half tied, because they do get the football to start the 3rd quarter. And in a game like this where stops have been thus far impossible to come by, you do not want to give this Hunterdon Central team a chance in a tie game.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you can't afford it. So if you're the Knights defense, got to figure out a way. You have to know this is 4-down territory. Even if they get the stop on 3rd down, the Red Devils are going to go for it on 4th down too. So the Old Bridge defense really needs 2 big stops potentially at most here in these next couple plays. Can they get the stop on 3rd down to set up a potential 4th down?
Pre-snap motion. Cozy was sent to the left. Throw under pressure, intercepted! Picked off!
He's got room, Joe. He's got room.
It's a big run back off the sideline. And, Nick, I have to go back to the correspondence that we received last week. We have Luke Mercil on the roster as number 20. I do not believe that is him. There was a change last week, so I want to make sure we have the right player. I'm scrolling back now to find it, but, Nick, the Knights come up with the first stop of this game. Cella forced it up under pressure, was hit as he released the football, and Old Bridge has the INT and a big run back out across midfield. They have 41 seconds to go, leading by 7.
And that's something that we've seen the Knights defense do this season, Joe. What has been a big reason why they've won 4 in a row. Their defense getting pressure on the quarterback and forcing turnovers, whether it be a fumble or an INT. None bigger than that play right there. They get the pressure on Cella. He forced the throw to try to at least avoid the sack and make it 4th and long. And unfortunately, it leads to the INT and now gives Old Bridge a chance to potentially go up 2 possessions before halftime.
This is a really big moment in this game. I believe they told us last week that Jason Benford was wearing 20. Nugent has plenty of time, flushed out to his left. Pressure coming from behind. He doesn't see it, and he's sacked. He fumbles. Olivencia on top of it. And, Nick, that looked like
they didn't get it, Joe. They gave it. Did they give it to the Red Devils?
I don't know how. Let's get a replay, Nick. That looked like a prime opportunity for a scoop and score. And the officials are going to discuss it. I thought the Knights had it.
I thought for sure they had it, too. And they changed it. It's going to the Knights.
Okay, it was an incorrect indication of the direction.
Yeah, you could see it clear as day right there that it was recovered by the Knights.
No doubt.
They'll call a timeout. Their second to last timeout of this first half. But you mentioned it, Joe. Nugent did not notice the pressure behind him. I was wondering what he was going to try to do with the ball in that play because it got to the point where there was no one open. I thought maybe he was going to try a scramble. Maybe he would just throw the ball away. Did neither. Got sacked. And thankfully for the Knights, they get the ball back on the fumble.
Watching that play develop, I was very surprised that Nugent didn't feel that pressure coming from behind. I thought when he rolled out, he was able to sense that he was going to need to get rid of that football or take off. He was oblivious to the pressure coming in behind him, and it almost cost Old Bridge in a big way. And with 23 seconds to go in the half, and I believe one timeout now.
Yeah, one timeout.
Do you try and put points on the board here, or are you content with the 7-point lead?
I think you got to go something to this. I think what they'll do on this play, Joe, go to the sideline, try to avoid wasting that last timeout, and see how much yardage you can get on this play, make it more of a manageable third and down.
I think you're trying to take the rest of this half with you. Nugent, clean pocket, throwing downfield, and nearly caught.
I see a flag, though, Joe.
There is a flag.
Secondary.
Jordan Mercado was there, but the ball was just a bit behind him. He reached up to make an attempt at what would have been a sensational one-handed grab.
That's a dangerous pass, too. I thought for a second it might have been intercepted.
That was a perfect ball from Nugent. He had to keep it away from the defender coming in from the middle of the field, and that forced Mercado to reach behind him.
So, Joe, getting word that flag was for a sideline warning, so no flag on the field, just a sideline warning. Going to be 3rd and 15 upcoming on this play. So with one timeout, not much time left in the half. We'll see what they set up here. I can't imagine you're going to try to do something big because here's the thing. Even for the Red Devils, they would have the 3 timeouts. Do they think about maybe calling a timeout and trying to set up something before the half? Not much time, but you could think about it.
Like I said, Nick, I think once you had that strip sack and the fumble, you were looking to take the rest of the half with you. That being said, they went for it on that last snap. Will they do so again here? Nugent rolling to his right, time running out, and the pass is incomplete. That will bring up 4th. You have 6 seconds. Do you throw the Hail Mary here to end the half?
I don't see why not.
I'm inclined to agree. We know Nugent can sling it. Will he get the time to throw it 50 yards to the end zone?
Yeah, I don't see why you don't. You have 6 seconds left. All you have to avoid is a potential run back if it does get intercepted.
Yeah,
I think if you're the Knights, you just go for it, say a couple prayers, and see if it works.
All right, here we go. Nugent, with instant pressure, is rolling to his right. He's going to heave it well short of the end zone, and it's picked off. But there to make the tackle was Aiden Rios. It was Magno on the interception, and that is how the first half will come to a close. An action-packed first 24 minutes sees Old Bridge leading Hunterdon Central by a score of 28-21. And Nick, we did not get a chance to hear from our sponsors during the pregame. We are going to throw it straight over to messages from the great sponsors of Old Bridge Knights High School football. When we come back, we'll talk first half and look ahead to half number 2. This is coverage of Old Bridge Knights High School football, streaming exclusively on the PDF Sports Network.
Celebrating 65 years, the Old Bridge Rebels Youth Organization is the longest-running and most successful youth organization, serving Old Bridge Township. The Rebels are the premier football and cheer organization with a long and rich history in coaching and developing our community's future leaders. Through proper guidance and leadership, the Rebels program assists the youth in developing the qualities of safe play, discipline, teamwork, fundamentals, and well-being. We will continue to focus on these goals while maintaining a strong presence in the community. Check us out at swsrebels.org.
This football season, stop by Market Boy Liquors, your hometown destination for over 20 years. Family-owned and operated, our 8,000-square-foot store features the largest beer cooler in the area, plus an unbeatable selection of wine, spirits, cigars, and craft beer. Conveniently located at 1132 Englishtown Road, Old Bridge, New Jersey, 08857, Market Boy Liquors is proud to serve our community with the best variety and friendly service. Call us today at 732-251-4616 and make Market Boy your game day headquarters.
Comes to buying and selling a home, do it with Peter Hunt's Home Team, powered by Century 21. For years, Peter has dedicated his life to the real estate industry, offering help and care to all of his clients. With experience and proven results, Peter is an award-winning realtor and the top producer for Century 21, Action Plus. A resident of Old Bridge, put Peter to work at selling your home or finding the home of your dreams. Call 1-800-299-2129 or reach Peter directly at 9086-014-934.
For raising the standard in facility services and commercial cleaning, look to Pritchard Industries. For over 35 years, our commitment to creating clean, healthy, and safe environments is unwavering, ensuring that your facility not only looks pristine, but also promotes well-being and productivity so your business can excel. Specializing in comprehensive commercial cleaning solutions, advanced facility services, responsible sustainable practices, and innovative technology, contact us now at pritchardindustries.com. Pritchard Industries, here for you.
At Giuseppe's Old School Italian Pizzeria, we bring you the perfect blend of tradition and flavor. Whether you're craving a classic New York-style pizza, a hearty pasta dish, or a fresh Italian hero, we've got something for everyone. Stop by, grab a slice, and taste the difference of real old-school Italian cooking right here in Old Bridge, New Jersey. Giuseppe's, located at 2581 County Road 516 in Old Bridge. Simply delicious.
At Maz Transport, we're ready to get your vacation started early with luxury airport service and your transportation needs. In fact, whether it's for corporate transport, trips to Atlantic City, a night in the city, date night, or any other need, Maz Transport is your choice for our luxury fleet to take you there in style. Call or text 732-2071-079 and let us know where you want to go, and we'll take care of the rest at Maz Transport.
At Function Forward Physical Therapy, we listen to your specific needs, utilize manual therapy techniques to decrease pain and restore mobility, emphasize customized exercise plans, and are here to assist in all your function and fitness needs. Whether it's return to work or play rehab, fitness training, or our softwave therapy program, we're here to help you get better, feel better, and live better. Function Forward Physical Therapy. Check us out today.
Since 2003, Elite Sports Physical Therapy of Morganville has developed customized care and physical therapy programs for thousands of athletes through evaluation and setting athletic goals. Whether a torn ACL, dislocated shoulder, or concussion is keeping you on the sidelines, our highly trained physical therapists can help you recover and return to the field or court in better shape than ever before. Come see what we are all about. Visit us at EliteSPT.com or call us today to book a consultation.
At Bagel Boy Bagel Shop in Old Bridge, we're more than just bagels. Come visit us at 2329 County Road 516, where we bake our bagels and bread fresh daily, have the freshest fruit and veggie platters, and an assortment of sandwiches and plates that are sure to satisfy. Bagel Boy is a proud sponsor of all things Old Bridge. Go Knights and go to Bagel Boy. 2329 County Road 516 and at bagelboyonline.com.
Old Bridge students, take advantage of the Old Bridge special at Bagel Boy. 10% off all purchases with your valid student ID.
Protect your family, pets, and your wallet with Anchor Pest Control. We provide coverage for all your pest removal needs, and our all-inclusive service saves you money. We've designed our services to be both comprehensive and budget-friendly for homeowners. Plus, with our premium service, you'll get a free mosquito application. See how Anchor stacks up against the competition. Visit us, anchorpestcontrol.net, or call 888-623-2847 for information and service.
You gotta check out All-American Ford.
All-American Ford is #1.
All-American Ford in Old Bridge is proudly family-owned and operated, and we're the #1 Ford dealership in New Jersey.
All-American Ford is the tri-state area's giant auto group. They always have the largest selection, and it's not even close. All-American Ford is currently offering APR financing as low as 0%, low monthly lease specials, and thousands off MSRP.
Giant selection, giant savings. Go G-Men and go All-American Ford.
Shop online at allamericanfordandoldbridge.com.
Getting a home loan shouldn't feel like an obstacle course. At CMG Home Loans, getting a loan is simple. Our loan officers are here for you every step of the way. With over 2,000 five-star reviews, when you're ready to buy or refi, we'll work together to find the loan you need for the home you love. CMG Home Loans. Simplified, trusted, committed.
Celebrating 65 years. The Old Bridge. Celebrating 65 years. The Old Bridge Rebels Youth Organization is the longest-running and most successful youth organization, serving Old Bridge Township. The Rebels are the premier football and cheer organization with a long and rich history in coaching and developing our community's future leaders. Through proper guidance and leadership, the Rebels program assists the youth in developing the qualities of safe play, discipline, teamwork, fundamentals, and well-being. We will continue to focus on these goals while maintaining a strong presence in the community. Check us out at swsrebels.org.
This football season, stop by Market Boy Liquors, your hometown destination for over 20 years. Family-owned and operated, our 8,000-square-foot store features the largest beer cooler in the area, plus an unbeatable selection of wine, spirits, cigars, and craft beer. Conveniently located at 1132 Englishtown Road, Old Bridge, New Jersey, 08857, Market Boy Liquors is proud to serve our community with the best variety and friendly service. Call us today at 732-251-4616 and make Market Boy your game day headquarters.
Buying and selling a home, do it with Peter Hunt's home team, powered by Century 21. For years, Peter has dedicated his life to the real estate industry, offering help and care to all of his clients. With experience and proven results, Peter is an award-winning realtor and the top producer for Century 21 Action Plus. A resident of Old Bridge, put Peter to work at selling your home or finding the home of your dreams. Call 1-800-299-2129 or reach Peter directly at 9086-014-934.
For raising the standard in facility services and commercial cleaning look to Pritchard Industries. For over 35 years, our commitment to creating clean, healthy, and safe environments is unwavering, ensuring that your facility not only looks pristine, but also promotes well-being and productivity so your business can excel. Specializing in comprehensive commercial cleaning solutions, advanced facility services, responsible sustainable practices, and innovative technology, contact us now at pritchardindustries.com. Pritchard Industries, here for you.
At Giuseppe's Old School Italian Pizzeria, we bring you the perfect blend of tradition and flavor. Whether you're craving a classic New York-style pizza, a hearty pasta dish, or a fresh Italian hero, we've got something for everyone. Stop by, grab a slice, and taste the difference of real old-school Italian cooking right here in Old Bridge, New Jersey. Giuseppe's, located at 2581 County Road 516 in Old Bridge. Simply delicious.
At Maz Transport, we're ready to get your vacation started early with luxury airport service and your transportation needs. In fact, whether it's for corporate transport, trips to Atlantic City, a night in the city, date night, or any other need, Maz Transport is your choice for our luxury fleet to take you there in style. Call or text 732-2071-079 and let us know where you want to go, and we'll take care of the rest at Maz Transport.
At Function Forward Physical Therapy, we listen to your specific needs, utilize manual therapy techniques to decrease pain and restore mobility, emphasize customized exercise plans, and are here to assist in all your function and fitness needs. Whether it's return to work or play rehab, fitness training, or our soft wave therapy program, we're here to help you get better, feel better, and live better. Function Forward Physical Therapy. Check us out today.
Since 2003, Elite Sports Physical Therapy of Morganville has developed customized care and physical therapy programs for thousands of athletes through evaluation and setting athletic goals. Whether a torn ACL, dislocated shoulder, or concussion is keeping you on the sidelines, our highly trained physical therapists can help you recover and return to the field or court in better shape than ever before. Come see what we are all about. Visit us at EliteSPT.com or call us today to book a consultation.
At Bagel Boy Bagel Shop in Old Bridge, we're more than just bagels. Come visit us at 2329 County Road 516, where we bake our bagels and bread fresh daily, have the freshest fruit and veggie platters, and an assortment of sandwiches and plates that are sure to satisfy. Bagel Boy is a proud sponsor of all things Old Bridge. Go Knights and go to Bagel Boy. 2329 County Road 516 and at bagelboyonline.com.
Old Bridge students, take advantage of the Old Bridge special at Bagel Boy. 10% off all purchases with your valid student ID.
Protect your family, pets, and your wallet with Anchor Pest Control. We provide coverage for all your pest removal needs, and our all-inclusive service saves you money. We've designed our services to be both comprehensive and budget-friendly for homeowners. Plus, with our premium service, you'll get a free mosquito application. See how Anchor stacks up against the competition. Visit us, anchorpestcontrol.net, or call 888-623-2847 for information and service.
You gotta check out All-American Ford.
All-American Ford is #1.
All-American Ford in Old Bridge is proudly family-owned and operated, and we're the #1 Ford dealership in New Jersey.
All-American Ford is the tri-state area's giant auto group. They always have the largest selection, and it's not even close. All-American Ford is currently offering APR financing as low as 0%, low monthly lease specials, and thousands off MSRP.
Giant selection, giant savings. Go G-Men and go All-American Ford.
Shop online at allamericanfordandoldbridge.com.
Getting a home loan shouldn't feel like an obstacle course. At CMG Home Loans, getting a loan is simple. Our loan officers are here for you every step of the way. With over 2,000 five-star reviews, when you're ready to buy or refi, we'll work together to find the loan you need for the home you love. CMG Home Loans. Simplified, trusted, committed.
Joe Foreman back with you alongside Nicholas Bavona here on the PDF Sports Network as we are about set to begin the second half here in Flemington, New Jersey. The Old Bridge Knights lead the Hunterdon Central Red Devils by a score of 28-21. And Nick, much of that first half, an offensive showcase for these two teams. Neither side picked up a stop until Old Bridge came away with a big interception on a third down and long. And we did confirm during the halftime break that Luke Mersel is wearing number 20 this week. He was not wearing 20 last time we covered the Knights. He is back in his correct uniform number tonight. So that was Luke on the interception. We wanted to make sure that he got credit for that. But so much to talk about from the first half. Nick, I'll let you start. Where do we begin?
Where can you begin, Joe, the way this game happened? I mean, the first play of the game, we get the touchdown run, and you're thinking, we've seen this story before with some of these Knights games, where you're thinking, okay, now the opponent is in a really tough spot. They're down 7 early. How do they respond? Big kickoff return. They get a pass that gets them inside of the 5 down to the 1-yard line. Cella gets the rushing touchdown and ties the game. But then we saw back and forth action between these two teams. A lot of third down conversions, a lot of big plays in the field for this Hunterdon Central team. They're getting a lot of their yards through the air. For Old Bridge, they're getting their yards through the air. They've also mixed in the running game a little bit as well on this one. Not as what we've seen the last couple of weeks, but they're still getting a lot of good yards in the running game. And it's really been incredible what these two offenses have done so far. As you mentioned, hadn't seen a stop until the end of that first half where we saw Old Bridge force the interception. They would throw an interception to end the first half. That was on a Hail Mary play, so that tends to happen sometimes. But a lot of good highlight plays. I made the joke earlier. Going to be very tough to even try to put all those highlights into one package going into next week for the final game of the regular season. But for Old Bridge, now it comes imperative that you go into the second half big because we talked about it. If the Red Devils tied the game before halftime, they get the second half kickoff. They got the turnover force. They still have the touchdown lead, and the Red Devils will have the ball to start the second half.
Well, I think something you touched on that I definitely would like to highlight is that both teams not only moved the ball incredibly well on offense, but they were well balanced. And we talked about how so often these two teams did end up behind the sticks, first and long, second and long, third and long, and that really did not deter either side. I think the key for these two defenses ultimately will still be get your opponent in third down, because you get a team in third and long, they know they may need to pick it up or otherwise be forced to punt. In a game like this, you can't afford many punts. And we saw on the third and long, Cella get hit as he threw, tried to fit one into a tight window, the coverage too close, and Mersel came up with the INT. I think if these two teams continue to put the other side in third down, preferably third and long, these defenses will have the ability to go out there and make plays on third down and get some stops. I don't know if we can expect these two offenses to sustain what they did in the first half, but boy, was it impressive to watch.
I mean, it's tough to really duplicate what we saw in that first half of these two offenses. You have to think going into the second half, these two defenses are going to be a little bit more, hopefully, at least for their sake, are going to be a little bit more ready to see what's going to be brought about for these two game plans in terms of the offensive side of the ball. We saw it for the Red Devils, a lot of play action, and it worked to their perfection, finding open receivers in the middle of the field. And then we saw for Old Bridge what they've been basically doing all season, Joe. You've let Nugent do what he does best, run the ball with him or someone else in that backfield on a read option. And then if not, you're going to keep it himself. He scrambles and finds an open receiver down the field, which is what he's been doing for the majority of the night. But he's made some great throws as well in this game and has put his team up a touchdown going into the second half, trying to, for their sake, keep this touchdown lead. And it feels like if one of these teams go up by 2 possessions, that could be the nail in the coffin for one of these teams trying to get the victory.
And that's something else we should note, Nick. Both of these teams, as we've said many times already, they've moved the ball really well, but these haven't been simple pitch and catch throws for these quarterbacks in many cases. They've come off of play fakes. They've been in between zones into some tight windows and over the top of the defense with some pretty close coverage from behind the intended targets. We've seen a couple of deep balls that have been dropped in straight over the top of an opposing player in the secondary. And I think when these quarterbacks have time, they're as good as any duo that we've covered all season long. And I think part of what these defenses will look to do in terms of adjusting in the second half is trying to give these quarterbacks a bit less time to throw. I think if you're Old Bridge, you've already gotten in for a few sacks in this game. I think defensively, they need to talk over how they're going to approach the amount of play fakes they've seen, because we have seen the linebacking core and the players in the box get caught flat-footed on some plays, and off of those play fakes, the Red Devils have been really effective in the passing game. I think you go back, take a look at some of those play fakes and talk things over a few of the nights to try and better approach those plays and not have three separate defenders get caught flat-footed off of those play-action pass attempts. So we'll see if the Knights can keep pressure on Chelik consistently. We saw the pressure finally causing a turnover on that third down and long, the only stop of the game until that Hail Mary at the end of the first half. So I think Old Bridge will look to continue to put the pressure on with their pass rush. They have the advantage of a 7-point lead. And I think what it comes down to, Nick, if the Knights get a stop to open the third quarter, they are firmly in the driver's seat in this game. If the Red Devils can score, we're right back where we were to get things started. All knotted up, of course, assuming the extra point is good.
Yeah, and I made the joke earlier, too. If you blink, you missed anything of type of the scoring in that first half. So if the Red Devils do come out here in the second half and get that opening drive score to tie this game once again, we could very well be in for the same type of first half that we had in this game. I think something that I would like to see maybe if you're the Red Devils, Joe, would be can they maybe chew a little bit more clock in this game and try to limit those Old Bridge possessions so that they don't allow the Knights to get any more opportunities to score in this game.
And while we have a few moments before the start of the third quarter, we would like to thank the Candied Ham softball team. Candied Ham Softball, a proud sponsor of Old Bridge Knights High School football. You can check out Candied Ham on Instagram at CandiedHam_official. We thank Candied Ham, a great sponsor of Knights football, as well as all the other sponsors that you heard from during our halftime break. Without them, these broadcasts would not be possible. Thank you to Candied Ham and all of the great sponsors of Knights football.
I like that little rhyme you did at one point during that. Candy Ham on Instagram.
That's right. I've always had an affinity for a well-timed ad read and a bit of alliteration, a bit of rhyming, and some good timing. Doesn't hurt.
There you go again.
Timing with the rhyming is key.
Yeah.
And nobody is better at it than me.
I've opened up a book. Now he's going to keep going the whole night.
If there's one thing that I'm rarely called, unfortunately, it is modest. I can't say that I get that very often.
Man of many titles.
That is very true. This has been a game of many points, and it's a short kickoff to begin the third quarter, but a flag comes out. And this play blown dead.
Yeah, maybe a legal formation or a false start in the kickoff. Yeah.
So back it up. 5 yards. And
you don't see that often.
Yeah, you don't, Nick. And if you're looking to kick it short, that matters.
Yeah.
Those yards definitely matter. Now, did they back them up 5 or 10?
Instead of the 35, it could maybe be the 40-yard line where the Red Devils start on this opening drive of the second half.
Once again, 2 men deep for the Red Devils, but I wouldn't expect the ball to get that far.
Look towards, I think, like I said earlier, the 40-yard line, I think, is where this kick is going to. They're going to try to aim it for the 30. They have to see if we got enough leg on it. If you're trying to kick it, short.
You could try the squib again as well.
Right.
There is a man in the middle, however. You'd have to try and angle it away from him. See what they do.
They do angle it towards the 30.
They send it
to the
deep.
25.
Magno's got it. He's across the 30. Bouncing it outside across the 35, 40, 45, 50, 45, and out of bounds.
And, Joe, this is why they've been kicking it short for the majority of these last couple of drives. But because of that opening penalty, they try to kick it to that right sideline, or to our vantage point, the right sideline. And it got it around the 25-yard line. A great opening return that puts the Red Devils into Old Bridge territory to start the second half.
When Magno received that kickoff, it did not look like that was going to be a dangerous return. And he immediately turned the corner and was up the sideline with a great burst. And the Knights effectively had one man there to tackle him once he bounced it to the outside.
And that's something that's been big for these two teams also. Their special teams blocking on these kickoff returns has been big.
And it's a first down run that goes nowhere. At the bottom of that pile is Giovanni Valise. He loses a yard on first down, and that will bring up 2nd and 11.
You talked about earlier how big it would be for this Old Bridge defense to start the second half, get a stop, and then if they can get the stop, get the ball back, and potentially score, that could go a long way for them to try to win this game and stop the back and forth that we've been seeing all night.
If you're the Knights and you come out with a stop and a score, you have to feel great about your odds of winning this game, the way your offense is played. There is some pressure on Hunterdon Central here to get even and keep pace offensively. They got the big stop they needed to close out the first half. Cella looking to throw, steps up, swings it to his left, complete, and there to make the tackle was Justin Birch. And that's a big play there. Good awareness by Birch as well, as there's some extracurriculars going on after the play. The ball did end up in the hands of Birch.
Yeah, you don't want to get a penalty right here if you're either side, because it either could give the Red Devils a first down or it could give Hunterdon a spot where they're going to be backed up on 3rd and long.
Nick Vasquez made the reception, and it could have been very easy for the Knights to lose him on this play. Good awareness as well by Cella to find him, and that's a great play by Birch to get there, because if he doesn't, there's a lot of green between Vasquez and that left sideline.
I was surprised he even got the throw and was even aware that he had his guy back there. That's a great heads-up play, but it's also a heads-up play by the Knights defense.
Here we go, Nick. 3rd and 11. The Knights rush 4. Cella has time, throws deep, incomplete. And the Knights had 2 defenders there shadowing Magno, and that will set up a Red Devils punt.
And you see it here initially, Joe, on the play. They're trying to get the one-on-one we saw earlier in this game, but it was just really good coverage on that sideline that really gave him no room to make the play. That's an excellent stop for this Knights defense, and as you mentioned, it's a 3-and-out to start the opening drive of the second half.
Something that we did not see the entire first half, Nick, and that was a 4th down snap. Though the Knights actually did snap it on 4th
down. Yeah.
They did snap it on 4th down on the final play. That was a 4th down. I stand corrected. Not often I have to say that. Be modest.
And another late flag, Joe. Multiple flags.
Wow, I don't think I've ever seen.
That was, yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen that much yellow in the air at one time. 4 flags.
The question is going to be, is it offsetting penalties or not? I would think it would be, so they probably will offset, and the Knights will start this next drive at the 14-yard line, looks like.
Well, I did see, Nick, that there was definitely some extra physicality.
Or, depending on the offsetting, they could redo the kick. We'll have to see what they do.
Both fouls occurred.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was after the play was over. So
yeah, both fouls occurred after the play was over. So the Knights.
And now another flag.
Oh, there was another.
They just threw it now. That might be a sideline warning, though.
Well, the Knights are backing up quite a bit, so it looks like they penalized them at least 5.
Well, I don't think it was, Joe, because it was at the 14. That's where the kick went. Yeah, that's where the punt went out of bounds.
All right. Well, there's still 2 flags on the field.
Yeah, I think they just noticed that they didn't have they have flags.
The back judge is going to go and retrieve those, but based on the signal, Nick, the Knights probably should have been backed up. There were 2 fouls that offset, and then 1 additional foul.
That was a sideline warning. We saw that earlier in the game too.
So the sideline warning earlier was not against.
That was against the Red Devils. Okay. Or maybe I'm correct. They're moving it back.
Yeah,
they did.
That was not a signal for a sideline warning. It was an unsportsmanlike conduct hand signal from the official.
Okay.
So that would be half the distance to the goal.
So they're at the 7.
Yeah, and that's where the sticks are now set. So if you're Old Bridge, you get the 3-and-out to begin the second half, and then immediately you are placed back inside your own 10-yard line, primarily as the result of an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. So now the Red Devils defense with a chance to make a big play with the Knights backed up against their own end zone.
This is the biggest drive of the game, in my opinion, Joe. If the Red Devils can get a stop, that would go huge for them because then they would have plus territory potentially if they're able to get a 3 and out. But if the Knights are able to go down the field and waste a lot of clock, that could be a really big blow for this Red Devils defense and the rest of this game.
The Knights with some extra men on the line of scrimmage here, just 3 receivers as Nugent will keep. And Nugent has a hole. He's out across the 15 and will pick up close to a first down. I think he's got it.
He did get the first.
Gain of 10, maybe 11 on the first down run for Brody Nugent. And just like that, Nick, the Knights are outside of the shadow of their goalposts.
And, Joe, you could even see it on the replay that Nugent, immediately as he got the ball, saw exactly where he was going to run with that ball. Had the open field. There really wasn't anyone outside of the linebacker there in that spot to make the play defensively. So good blocking leads to the first down.
I think it was Pluchino leading the way. Motion man Allsbrook. They'll fake the handoff to him. Nugent keeps again. Big hole for a second straight play. Nugent still on his feet. And he's finally wrestled down across the 35-yard line.
Well, so much for being backed up into your own territory with the first 2 plays of this drive.
And Nick, these last couple of snaps, really the first time in this game that we've seen the Knights put some extra bodies on the line of scrimmage.
Did you see that run, Joe? 3 jukes on that play.
So elusive. As Dixon will keep, he breaks a tackle, and Dixon is about a half-yard short of a first down. He might have it.
They're going to give it to him. Now they're going to say short.
Yeah, I thought he was short.
I thought so, too.
I thought he was short. They gave it to him on the far side, but he is short.
And, Joe, I talked about it earlier. The Knights have been running the ball good tonight, but this has been, so far, the most impressive running they've done so far in this game outside of the first play touchdown.
They've put extra bodies on the line of scrimmage, Nick, and that's something that the Red Devils have not had to contend with all night. Nugent typically runs out of an empty shotgun backfield every once in a while. He'll motion a man to join him and hand the ball off.
Let's see if he does it here.
And Nugent will keep. He takes it up the middle. He has a first down, and he is tackled just shy of the Red Devils' 40-yard line.
4 straight runs by this Knights offense, and they're now on plus-side territory. What a start to this second drive, I should say, of this half.
If I'm the Red Devils, Nick, I'm thinking maybe take a timeout here because the Knights right now completely dominating at the line of scrimmage.
They're winning the battle of the trenches, as I like to term it.
And coming out of the half, this is not a worn-down defensive front. Dixon makes a couple of nice moves, and he will pick up close to a first down. And he does indeed get first down yardage. He's across the 30 down to the 29-yard line of Hunterdon Central.
5 runs, Joe. 4 of them are first downs on this drive. The one run that they didn't get the first down was a 9-yard pickup. They are running the ball really well to start this drive.
The Knights are really asserting themselves right now at the line of scrimmage. It's been impressive. Now just 2 receivers out there for Old Bridge.
If it's not broke, don't fix it. Keep going if I'm Old Bridge.
And keep in mind, Nick, quick to the line does not give the Red Devils a chance to change their personnel as Dixon will keep it again. He's grabbed from behind by the jersey and tackled at the 25-yard line. Gain of 4 on first down, and it will be 2nd and 6.
I'm expecting at some point, Joe. I don't know when it will happen. I could see Old Bridge try and maybe go for play action like we've seen Hunterdon do in this game. Because you're running the ball so well in the drive, you could fool them with a play action play on this one. But we'll see what they do on 2nd and 6. Once again, Nugent set up alone in the backfield.
This time 3 receivers on the field, though one of them is Dixon. So you have to beware of the motion. Nugent taking direction from his sideline. And keep in mind as well, Nick, nearly half of the third quarter is gone.
Yeah.
This drive has taken some time off the clock. Nugent hands off for Dixon, and Dixon fighting forward was close to a first down. He's about 2 yards short. And that will bring up a 3rd and 2 ball at the Red Devils' 22-yard line. So you'd think, Nick, probably 2 plays to get this.
Yep. Yeah, and, you know, I think when it comes down to it, it's 100% 4-down territory for the Knights on this drive, and Hunterdon's got to find a way to get some pressure on this running game and force a play where they could maybe get a stop, force a fourth down, and then force the Knights to think about what they would try to draw up on fourth down.
3rd and 2. The Knights have really been asserting their will on the ground all drive. Do they go back to the ground game here again on 3rd and short? Allsbrook, the motion man.
Timeout, Knights.
And a timeout was called by Old Bridge. 5:28 to go, 3rd quarter. And should the Knights get any points on this drive, Nick, it does put the Red Devils down by 2 possessions.
Yeah.
And that really turns up the pressure on this Hunterdon Central offense. So I think as a defense right now, you're feeling that.
Yeah.
And with a 3rd down and a long 2 by my estimation, I think you have to see this as an opportunity to maybe get off the field.
It's kind of ironic because this is some of the game plan that I thought maybe Hunterdon was going to do today. Try to limit the Old Bridge possessions in this one by running out the clock. Old Bridge has done that impeccably so far in this second half. On this drive, they've milked a lot of clock after the opening 3 and out. They've now gone down the field. They've been running the ball really well. And now you got a 3rd and about 2 yards here. 4 down territory for sure. I'm expecting Nugent to be the one that has the ball in this spot here, Joe.
I think the way that they've blocked for him and the way he's made defenders miss, that's a pretty safe bet. Dixon back there with him. Nugent will keep, looking for a hole, lowers his shoulder, and he drives forward for a Knights first down. Good hard running by Brody Nugent, and this Knights drive will continue inside the red zone.
And what's the formation that you guys like to call?
Well, I call the 4-man backfield the order of chivalry.
I'm expecting it at some point.
I think once
We're
you
approaching
get
that territory.
Once you get goal to go, I think there's a very good chance you see it.
Yeah, we're approaching it.
And Nick, perhaps a bit surprising here with how dominant they've been on the ground. They're back in the empty shotgun set with 5 receivers out there.
As you mentioned earlier, probably expect one of them to go maybe in motion. We'll see.
I think you have to watch the screen. Look at that matchup on the
There it
right.
is.
There it is, Nick. They had the numbers, and that's a really good job there. I was about to say a really good tackle, but Rios got away.
They were at least able to stop him, yeah.
Yeah, Nick Vasquez able to slow him down, and if he doesn't, Rios walks in for a touchdown.
Yeah.
You could see it pre-snap, Nick. They had numbers on that right side, and I think if you're the Red Devils defensively, you probably knew that was coming. At least the cornerbacks must have known because the numbers were just too steep.
3-on-2 right there.
Yeah, it was too stacked in the favor of Old Bridge. Once again, an empty shotgun backfield. Nugent will motion Rios. Handoff goes to Rios. He has blocking. He has a first down. And the Knights have goal to go inside the 5. Now, the way they were celebrating, I thought perhaps they gave him a touchdown after that call we saw earlier. I didn't think they were earlier either, Nick. And they got
at least that one, they were at the 1. This one's at the 4.
Yeah. I wasn't even sure they made the 1 before, Nick.
Yeah.
It's the order of chivalry. 1st and goal, Nugent keeps, and Nugent scores. But a late flag comes in, then one more. So hold on a second.
Speaking of holding on, they might have held right there. That's my initial thought.
The flag came out from the near side along the goal line in the area of holding. It came out during the play.
I'm hearing hold.
It was a hold on Old Bridge.
I think that's the one beauty of being in the press box today, Joe. So we're hearing the radio transmission for the calls tonight for the penalties. Not where usually we have to assume what's happening on the field.
Usually all we hear is the music blaring over the speakers. It's nice to get some sounds of the game every once in a while, you know?
Can't beat that.
That's a really big penalty, Nick, because you go from a 1st and goal at the 1 to a 1st and goal at the 11.
Is it from It should be from where the foul was, correct?
Well, keep in mind, Nick, there was a second flag as well. They have not moved Old Bridge back the 10 yards yet, and I think they might be assessing a second penalty.
It's either that or I think they're trying to figure out where the penalty is going to be from. What I mean by that is the ball was at the 4-yard line. Is the flag starting from there?
I should have said the 14.
Right. Is it from the 4-yard line or is it from where the penalty was made inside maybe the 1-yard line, as you mentioned? I think that's what they were conversing on.
Could be.
And it looks like they're going to put it at the 13-yard line.
So they'll back the Knights up 10 yards. And the Old Bridge offense trying to fire up the Knights contingent on the opposite side. Not often that we call the game from opposite the Knights. But a 1st and goal from the 4 becomes 1st and goal from the 13.
Look at it. Look at they're doing it again, Joe.
We are inside of 4 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Order of chivalry back out there for the Knights. 4-man offensive backfield. Nugent will keep, and Nugent has plenty of room. He's in for the touchdown. They take 6 off the board, and the Knights put them right back up.
And, Joe, you could correct me if I'm wrong. When we've seen that play call, most of the time, in my opinion, I've seen this ball get run to the left side of that offensive line. Nugent immediately saw the pressure there from the left side. He went directly towards the right and found that open green for the touchdown. Heads-up play by the Knights quarterback to now put them up 2 possessions.
And, Nick, we're going to run it back after the extra point. There should have been a flag there on the Knights for a false start. I watched it in real time.
I thought so, too.
100% the back got started early.
Okay.
100%. And that matters because he's your lead blocker.
Right.
But there definitely should have been a flag. We'll slow it down following the extra point. Ferretto on to kick. And the PAT is up and good. So let's run that back, Nick.
Extra point is good. Knights up 35 over the Red Devils 21.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it wasn't as bad as it appeared to be in real time.
In real time, it's different.
It looks worse in real time because you're following Nugent first and foremost. You're not really following the football out of the center's hand. But you could see it when they snapped the ball that the back had gotten started a bit early. And checking it again on replay, there's no question that should have been a flag on Old Bridge.
Yeah.
But they get away with it and put 7 more on the board. The lead is now 2 touchdowns for the Knights. Our score 35-21. And, Nick, I think if you're the Red Devils, you have to have points on this drive.
Yeah, it feels like now or never for this team. After the 3 and out, think of that. They've only had the 1 possession here in the second half. That was 3 and out. Old Bridge just chewed so much clock on that last drive that now they really need points because we're getting closer towards the end of this quarter. About 3:38 to go in the 3rd.
I don't think you have to depart from your game plan yet. I think there's no need to panic, but there definitely is a sense of urgency now. Trailing by 2 scores against a team that has only been stopped once on a Hail Mary. That one scooped up by Valise, and Valise up the middle is across the 40-yard line. And it just seems like, Nick, there's nothing the Knights can do to give the Red Devils starting field position inside their own 40.
Yeah. Yeah, special teams unit has done a good job tonight here for the Red Devils, but now let's see what they do on offense, Joe. That, I think, is the biggest focal point right now of this game, and this could be the drive that ends up deciding who wins this game for both sides. Obviously, a 14-point deficit for the Red Devils, but they need points, as you mentioned before. They really need to score on this drive. A touchdown will go a long way for them to keep this game going within reach.
It's a shotgun set for Cella and the Hunterdon Central offense. Trips to the right. This drive gets started from their own 42. Cella looking to throw. Time running out. Throws into traffic. And it falls incomplete off the breakup.
And Joe, he's going to want that one back. I'm going to rewind it for a second. I think he had a receiver down the sideline potentially open.
And there's a player down in the offensive backfield as well.
Look at number 2 on the sideline. You won't see it there. You'll see it at the tail end. He was starting to get open. If he throws a floater up over towards that sideline, he might have had a potential completion.
Well, I think if there's one thing that's clear on the replay, it's that the opening was not there where the football went.
Right.
There were a couple of nights in there. I think Valinati was among them on the coverage, but I think when you're trailing late, that was Valise who was down, by the way. He's helped off, and fortunately he can walk off under his own power. But when you're trailing by 2 scores in a game where stops have been hard to come by, you're going to have to take some of those chances. Whether or not that's the spot is a fair question, but you're going to have to gamble a bit now because you need points, and I don't think we can say that they need them quickly yet, but we're getting there. It's almost the end of the third quarter.
Yeah, and Valise, that was one where he was going to set up the block, and initially, Joe, as the play started, you could just see him kind of hobble. It went right towards the ground, so hopefully he is okay. You don't like to see those injuries, those non-contact injuries sometimes are very painful.
It's a design keeper for Cella. He breaks a tackle and stumbles forward about 3 yards shy of midfield. That will bring up a 3rd down and 5. And Nick, it should be noted, as you mentioned, Valise going down, no contact made. When that play got started, there was pressure coming off that edge, and that's probably who he would have been blocking.
Right.
So that's something to keep in mind as well. And I think Cella felt that pressure from behind and got the football out. If he doesn't, he is taking a huge blindside hit on that play. 3rd and 5. Trips to the right, design rollout. Cella throws, and was it possessed? It was not. Valinati couldn't secure it, but he does break up the pass, and that will bring up 4th down. It looks like the Red Devils are going to punt, Nick.
Yeah, they're bringing out the punt unit, so.
What do you think? 4th and 5, a bit short of midfield. What are you doing here, Nick?
I think you might fake them. I think we're at the point because you just saw what the Old Bridge offense did that last drive and just wasted so much clock. On the Knights, I'm looking for the fake.
2:41 to go. Yeah, they are going to fake it. And there's a great tackle behind the line of scrimmage by Griffin Nugent. What a play by Nugent to blow up the fake punt. Cozy taken down, could not get back to the line. And the Knights sniff out that fake punt. And Nick, at that point, do you just throw for it? Do you come out in the shotgun and throw for it?
Yeah, I think I would rather do that. I think I'm of the notion if you're doing those fake runs on a punt formation, I feel more comfortable if it's around like 4th and 2, 4th and 3, 4th and 5. It's a tall task to get those yards. Had a good opportunity to get the 1st down, but Nugent just made a great shoestring tackle to prevent that 1st down from happening. And now the Knights, they've got a chance to potentially put an early nail in the coffin with the touchdown here, put them up 3 scores.
I think, Nick, the play call was good. I think the play was there, but the blocking, the lead block was not there. The lead block was not there. It was a great play by Nugent as Rios catches the screen pass and is tackled right around the 1st down marker.
He's got it.
And he will pick up 1st down yardage, gain of 10 on the screen. But let's go back one more time to that fake punt. It looked like there was one man there to block one Knight. And if the block is made, I think they pick it up. They just missed the block.
I think he was expecting him to run up the middle, and because he went to the outside, that's where the block was missed.
Yeah, I think the play call was a good one. I think if that's blocked effectively, they pick it up. Looked to me like the Knights got started early again there at the wideout position. Nugent will throw on the run complete, and Olivencia has a 1st down and more as he's pushed out of bounds. I believe just shy of the red zone. He is marked out right at the 20. So Old Bridge wasting no time getting into the red zone. 2 completions, 2 1st downs, and a 1st and 10 from the 20.
Yeah, Joe, I saw it again. They definitely went off. That's for sure.
They've been getting started early, Nick, and it hasn't been flagged yet.
Watch the far sideline over here, the receiver in the middle. Clear as day, you can see it.
Yeah, I've been seeing it throughout the game, but it's almost getting more pronounced as we go.
Yeah.
Handoff, Jeremiah Dixon. And Dixon is stood up and driven back right at the line of scrimmage. Give him a yard or 2 on the play. 2nd and 8. I think what we're seeing, Nick, is that the defensive adjustments that Old Bridge made at the half clearly paying off, and it doesn't seem like thus far that the Red Devils have found an answer to what the Knights are doing offensively. And to the credit of Old Bridge, they came out and really pounded the rock to open the third quarter, and that's not something we saw for much of the first half.
Yeah, they were pass heavy in the first half, run heavy here in the second.
Nugent off the fake, rolling to his left, will throw short. Allsbrook complete. And he's tackled around the 15-yard line. That will bring up a third down.
About 4 or 5 yards.
I think they're going to spot him short of the 15. They have him out of bounds around the 17 on the far side. On the near side, they gave him the 15. Do we split the difference and say the 16?
It looks like the 17, I think, is where.
Maybe not. I don't know. 16?
No, 16. It's 16. Yeah.
All right. 3rd and 6.
That'll be the end of the third.
That will do it for the third quarter. Our score through 3, Old Bridge 35 and Hunterdon Central 21. And I think it goes without saying, Nick, the Red Devils can't afford to give up any points on this drive. The Knights have a very capable kicker in Michael Ferretto, and I think you're within his field goal range here, so you don't have to be too aggressive on third down. You would love to deal a knockout blow. You'd, of course, love it if it doesn't come down to a kick, but we'll see what they do here on third. How aggressive do you get on this third down play call trying to pick up a first?
I'm thinking this is 4 down. I'm thinking this of 2 plays, Joe.
Really?
I think if you're the Knights, I think you just run the ball still. I think you just keep going with what you've been doing right now. 3rd and 6, why not? Because even if you don't get it, you at least set up 4th and short, and you can still get it there.
If I have a 4th and any longer than a yard, I'm kicking. Unless you get backed up on this play. But if I have 4th down and anything more than 1 yard, I'm trying the field goal. I think they have good confidence in Ferretto. And if they score on this drive, Nick, I think that's enough to win this game.
I think the other thing you think about is even if you, let's say it's 4th and 1, 4th and 2, if you don't get it, you're at least putting them backed up in their own territory inside of the 15-yard line. So it would be a very long drive, even if they're not able to get it.
I see that perspective.
They're going to have to restart because the music.
Yeah. Music's still going.
It's still going. We haven't heard the music all night.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's coming from down at midfield.
And they're. But where would that be?
It's right in front of us, Nick. I think that's the music at midfield. No, that's a sound mixer.
Okay. That was perplexing.
I don't think they realized down at midfield that they were ready to go. But Nick, order of chivalry. 3rd and 6. Nugent is driven back and taken down hard behind the line of scrimmage. That's a good, strong tackle by Jake Freestone.
You got nothing on that gain.
Yeah, it's 4th and 5, Nick. 4th and 6. You have to kick it. And Ferretto's coming on.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking. If you get to 4th and 1, 4th and 2, I think that's where you go for it.
4th and 1, I would have considered it. 4th and 2, maybe. But I'll tell you, Nick, if they ran that play on 4th and 2, they don't get it. Because Nugent was driven back, and I think Ferretto has a chance to put this game away with this field goal.
Yeah.
Nick, a 3-score game.
It's about
really tough.
32-yarder?
Really tough with about 11 minutes to go.
Try to do my math right. I think it's a 32-yarder.
By no means a chip shot. Ferretto certainly capable from this range. Benford the snap. Nugent the hold. The kick on its way. And it is good. Big-time kick from Michael Ferretto. And that makes it a 3-score game. Old Bridge in front by 17.
What a big kick right there, Joe. You mentioned not easy. I think the reason why it's not as easy is because of the side hash of where that is on the field. Because it's not down the middle. It's a little bit closer towards the Old Bridge sideline, but he delivered it straight. Perfect kick. 17-point Old Bridge lead now to start this fourth quarter.
10:59 to go, And now, if you're Hunterdon Central,
gotta be quick.
You need 3 scores. You have to be quick. And I think the concerning part of what we've seen so far in the second half is they really haven't done much offensively.
Yeah.
In the first half, the stops, impossible to come by for both teams, but the Red Devils and the Knights both move the ball really well. The Red Devils haven't moved the ball much here in the second half.
Something that we haven't seen is their play action that we saw in the first half. They haven't really gone to it here in the second half.
Yeah.
And I think something also is that even on the passing plays that we've seen from the Red Devils, the Knights are starting to get a little bit better in terms of playing the middle of the field in terms of secondary, because that was a big reason why they were giving up so much yardage in that first half.
And I think you're at a point now, Nick, where the play-action game is off the table. The Knights certainly content to let the Red Devils run it as long as they're not picking up chunks on the ground. So you're backed into a corner in terms of play calling. And I think you probably need to score in less than 4 minutes to have a real shot. Ferretto's kick does go deep, and don't discount the return game. Kingsley across the 40 and brought down just past the 45. Awfully close, Nick.
Yeah, too close for comfort right there. That could have been dangerous.
Yep. We've seen it time and time again. The Knights have been prone to the big return against them, and I think the lack of production offensively in the second half has been a bit surprising, especially given the field position, because the Knights have not been able to get the ball to Hunterdon Central in anything less than very good field position.
It's been at least the 40-yard line, I think, on every single drive tonight.
Yep. The opening drive on the plus side of the 50.
Right.
Cella in the gun. 3 receivers out there. Feliz back in the game as Cella looks to run, and that will go down as a Knights sack and a flag for a late hit.
Cella's down, Joe. That's not looking good.
Yeah, he's definitely in some pain down on the turf. And I think they're going to get Old Bridge for a late hit here.
Helmet to helmet.
Yeah, it looked like a bang-bang play in terms of the timing, but the helmet-to-helmet's going to get flagged every time. And on a play like that, it very well could cost you your quarterback.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if Cella's down because of the helmet-to-helmet, or did he get tangled up because he went down in an awkward way on that hit?
Yeah. Yeah, it did look like he was brought down.
And, yeah, you can see it, Joe, on the field. He's looking towards his leg right now, so that's concerning.
He was brought down low and then got hit up high, which drew the flag. They're still attending to him, and he's able
to get up.
He's able to walk toward the sideline under his own power. It looked like Andrew Fisher was throwing on the sideline, but I got a quick glimpse at who it was taking some tosses. Fisher listed as a wide receiver and defensive back.
And because of the helmet-to-helmet, he has to take a play off, I believe, to get checked for a concussion and stuff like that. So we'll see. We'll see if he comes back into the game. But a scary play right there for the Red Devils quarterback.
Let's see who takes over under center. It was a 15-yard penalty. Odin Patinsky will take over at quarterback for at least one play. And the Red Devils got moving early there as Patinsky goes deep, and Magno makes the catch at the 20-yard line. How about that for entering the game?
Well, how do you do right there, Joe? What a start to the drive for him. A perfect floating pass towards the sideline to get that first down.
Call that the old moon ball. How about the trajectory of that pass?
Seen that a lot from quarterbacks like Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers. As you mentioned, the moon ball right there, that first down play will now set up the Red Devils just at around the 20-yard line.
Well, I mentioned, Nick, they needed to work quickly, probably scoring in less than 4 minutes. They're off to a pretty nice start. Patinsky will look to throw once again, and he fires middle incomplete. Pass broken up by Justin Birch.
That was tight coverage on the play. Really nothing open right there. Good job by the Knights secondary. As I mentioned earlier, they've been doing a better job in the second half, Joe, in terms of plays up the middle, in terms of pass plays up the middle. They really have been locking down and have not been allowing the yards that we saw in the first half.
Well, I think if there's one positive to a play like that, especially coming off the high of the last completion, is that the clock is stopped. Trips to the right. Patinsky's still in there. It's a designed rollout. And he throws complete to Magno. Magno was stripped of the football, but
could be short of the first down.
They will stop the clock here.
I think 3 yards away from the first. Maybe a little bit more than that, maybe 5 yards.
Well, the clock does stop at 10:11. And now, if you're the Red Devils, of course it's 4-down territory. You do need a field goal at some point, but I don't think that comes now.
Yeah.
Under any circumstances, Nick. You may not get this deep again.
Yeah, I think it has to be a touchdown you go for on this drive. Cannot be looking for a field goal.
The Knights bringing pressure. Patinsky looking to run, and he won't get the first. He's a yard or two short.
It looks like 2 yards shy. A long two.
This is the ball game right here, Nick. If the Knights come up with one more big stop, that will put this one on ice. Cella back in there.
I think initially we were looking at his leg, Joe. I think they were putting ice on his hand, if I'm not mistaken, when I was looking at on the sideline. So it looked like maybe he injured his hand on that play. Good side that he's back into the game, and it's the ball game right here on 4th and 2.
Well, did he have a sleeve on that right leg the entire game? Or the pant leg all the way down?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I don't think he did, no.
Either way, he inherits a 4th and 2. He will keep, and he is driven backward. He did not get it.
He took a shot on that play. What a defensive stop right there by the Knights.
Valinati leads the way defensively for Old Bridge as the Red Devils are turned aside on 4th and 2. They have not scored here in the second half as the Old Bridge defense stands strong.
They brought the boom on that one, Joe. You saw it right there. Initially, it looked like Cella was going to be able to get the first down after taking the first hit, and then the second wave of Knight defenders got there for the stop. A huge stop in this game late gives the Knights the ball back, and they are now, looking at the clock, 9 minutes away from making this win streak potentially 5 games.
This is such a fundamentally sound and physical defense for Old Bridge, and that has really been on full display here in the second half as Dixon is stopped for no gain, and he wanted to keep going, but the whistle blows as his forward progress was stopped. The clock continues to wind inside of 9 minutes. And down 3 scores, Nick. I just don't think there's enough time.
No, not really, Joe. And considering that we know the Knights are going to be running the football here just to make the clock even worse, they really need that last try to get some points.
I think you have to have a turnover right here.
Yeah, got to try to find a way to strip the ball.
Nugent will take his time working out of the gun. 2 receivers on the field. Dixon alongside him in the offensive backfield. The handoff goes to Dixon. He's looking for some room and is stopped after a gain of a couple. 3rd down and 8 coming up. Maybe a 3rd and 7.
I'll give him 7.
We'll give him 7.
I'll give him 7.
I think he deserves 7.
I'm feeling a little generous tonight. Just tonight, though. Holy tonight.
A lot of the time, the spot depends on what side judge you're looking at.
Yeah.
Always best to follow the sticks. Old Bridge in the gun. 7:43 to go. They will take as much clock with them as they can. Looks like Nugent just relayed the play call to his line. And he will keep it. Nugent has room. He's across the 20 and has a first down as he is wrestled out of bounds just shy of the 30.
Another big run by Nugent, and more flags are thrown.
That is the second time tonight that we have seen 4 officials throw their flags simultaneously.
Yep.
That's how you can be sure that a call is the correct one. I think if all 4 officials spot it,
it was only on the Knights too, so that first down will now get pushed back. What that penalty the Knights just got.
Well, it was after the play, so you'll take that, but you do not want to get caught getting involved in anything beyond the scope of the play.
Yeah, because you're at the point where you have a 17-point lead in the fourth quarter. You don't want them to be doing anything crazy like that because you still have one more game left in the season, and then, of course, you have playoffs afterwards. So you just want to get out of here with the victory and not do anything crazy afterwards.
You have this game well in hand if you're Old Bridge. Don't do anything you'll regret next week.
Right.
They backed them up 15, but it is still a first down and 10. 7:17 on the clock, and the Knights are hoping to take as much of the remaining time with them as possible on this drive. They now run the clock. Heavy set here for Old Bridge, though.
I don't think I've seen that many men in motion.
Yeah, they move the receivers to the outside. Allsbrook, the motion man. Nugent will keep. He wants to throw it.
He'll throw it away.
That is surprising, Nick.
Yeah, that's very surprising.
And it looks like a member of the cheer squad
caught it on a ricochet.
Caught it on the bounce.
Yeah.
Does that count?
Yeah, bounce ricochet.
I think if you're outside of the boundaries, it counts.
Yeah. Also, you got to keep in mind to hold in the pom-poms, so it's not really easy to catch it with the pom-poms on.
Caught it with the palms in hand?
I believe so.
Then it certainly counts.
So very surprisingly, they throw on first down, don't complete it. That stops the clock.
I'm shocked they threw, Nick. I'm shocked. Yeah. 2nd and 10. Handoff Dixon. Big hole. He's across the 30 and in the open field. It's a foot race. Dixon to the 30, the 20, 10-5, touchdown Knights.
Gone in an instant, Joe. What a run by Dixon, and that is effectively the game right there for this Old Bridge team. Put it down 5 in a row for this Knights team, and they're riding a nice high going into these next couple of weeks with the playoffs on the horizon, a 5-game win streak, and next week a chance to make it 6 in a row. Big run by Dixon to show what has been the story of 2 halves. First half was all passing, second half all running. We've seen it all season long, Joe. This team is just so well balanced, and they're showing it again once here tonight.
This Knights team just has so much depth in the ground game, Nick. They have Brody Nugent, a quarterback who can keep it on any given play and run for touchdowns of any distance. He can outrun players in the secondary as the extra point is good, but then you have Chase Rizzo, who is inactive tonight. You mentioned the back-to-back 100-yard games, and now you have Jeremiah Dixon, who didn't get too many reps early in the season, coming in the last 3-4 weeks and really taking on a bigger role, obviously thrust into a starting role tonight, and he has really excelled.
Yeah, I mean, that one run alone, I was like, about what is that, an 84-yard run he got right there? We saw an 83-yard run to start this game, and now we've seen an 84-yard run, or maybe I'm doing my math wrong, 86 yards, excuse me, on that play.
Close enough.
Not a mathematician, but it was 80 yards regardless.
Yeah, I've been called something of a meteorologist before.
Yeah.
I've never been accused of being a math guy, numbers guy, or a spreadsheets guy.
That's coming to the fact that we've been doing stats for a couple of years now with CSI. Well, maybe not a couple of years
well,
for you.
You
but
have.
Yeah, for me at least.
I've been correcting the finished product. I have not been behind that computer many times.
Hopefully not too many times when I've been behind the computer.
No.
Never. There's been a couple.
Never.
There's been a couple. I'm humble. There's been a couple.
For those who don't know, Nick and I work in collegiate athletics. We are also the voices of CSI Sportsnet over at the College of Staten Island, alongside our Sportsnet colleague, Nick Durst. Basketball on the horizon, Nick, but tomorrow we have soccer.
Yep. Big day for tomorrow for us. It's the second, or tomorrow will be the second of 3 busy days for me this weekend. Here tonight for Old Bridge, tomorrow with CSI, then I'll be at MetLife Stadium again on Sunday.
That kickoff skips into the arms of Vasquez, and Nick, I think
It's good
they're
to see
on the
him
negative
back.
side of the 40. First time tonight.
39-yard line, yeah.
Just shy.
At least he's in the game, too, Joe. That's a good sight to see because we saw him earlier go down with that injury.
Well, you're in a position now with about 6.5 minutes to go where the outcome of this game is decided. Old Bridge leading it by 24. That being said, I think you'd like to get something offensively here in the second half, even if it doesn't have an impact on the win column.
Yeah, because you have to think about it going into next week, too, because you still, if you're the Red Devils, you still have another game next week, too. So you at least want to go into next week thinking, okay, we went toe-to-toe with a team that's been really good defensively for the majority of the year. The second half didn't go our way, but we can still put up points with the best of them.
And for a team that appears headed for a 4-4 record, as a flag did come out, Magno dropped the pass. And I think Chella took, Valise. It was Valise who ended up down. Yeah, he's still appears to be moving gingerly. We'll see what the flag is for. But you're a team in Hunterdon Central that, with a loss tonight, would move to 4-4. And with one game to go, you want to put yourself in the best position possible entering the postseason. If you're Old Bridge, this game really makes a statement to the committee that ranks these teams, and I think you have to feel really good about where you are entering a big-time game at home next week against Colonia. That game last season, an all-time classic on PDF. Those two teams were battling in a game that I think affected more playoff positioning rather than whether or not they made it. I think both teams were pretty secure in where they were entering that game, but we'll see what comes of the game next week, as that's a big completion downfield. Cozy trying to get away, but a good job to stay with him on that play by Endaz. There is a flag on the field, Nick, so
might be after the play was over.
Roughing the passer.
That was, yeah.
Well, I think if you're the Old Bridge coaching staff, you're not too pleased with those kinds of penalties.
Yeah, no,
roughing
you
the
can't
passer, the personal fouls. In a game like this one where you've now picked up a big lead in the second half, been playing really well, you don't want to do that.
Right.
You don't want to get involved with stuff like that or be known as a team that looks to take shots when you're leading. Not saying they're doing that, but when those penalties add up late, it's not a good look. You don't want to see that if you're the Knights, and I think leading by 24, those are penalties you could do without.
They've had a lot of penalties in this game, Joe. I would be very stunned if they didn't have 100 penalty yards in this game.
Oh, they easily have 100 penalty yards.
I'd be stunned.
They have at least 50 in holding.
That's true. That's true.
50 in holding. They had
at
least 3 personal fouls.
Right. Yeah.
They had another 5-yarder
That's true.
earlier in the game. Now, keep in mind as well, Nick, there is plenty going on.
Oh yeah, it's been a busy week here on PDF.
Very busy. But we do have Andrew Rotundo currently hard at work at the Bridgewater Sports Arena. He is calling Premier Rockets Hockey Club action tonight. And Joe Calabrese, a fellow colleague of ours here at PDF, called a doubleheader yesterday at the Bridgewater Sports Arena. So PDF crew all over the place in New Jersey. I think Bridgewater, I would suspect about 30 or 40 minutes from here.
Give or take, yeah.
It's about 30 minutes from me. We're about an hour from me right now. So I think Bridgewater is actually right in the middle. We did pass the exit on our way here. So a lot of fun covering the Rockets. Joe and Andrew get to cover that the last couple of days. You and I covering the Old Bridge Knights. And I think, Nick, that next week it is going to be you and I on the call at Old Bridge. Action resumes. Chella throwing end zone, and a flag comes out for pass interference.
Yep, that's clear as day right there.
Yeah, Mercel looked to get tripped up there, and on the way down, he contacted Magno. think that foul occurred just short of the end zone, so maybe they get the 1 yard line anyway. We'll see if they get him for a hold or a PI. They've spotted the ball just outside the 5 yard line.
Yeah.
First and goal, Hunterdon Central. We also had some breaking news.
We'll get to that after the drive's over.
We'll get to that shortly as Cella throws that pass over the middle, broken up. Intended target in heavy traffic was Kingsley, but the PDF Sports Network announced a partnership yesterday with Rokex Sports as their official broadcast partner. Of course, AJ Roque, our good friend from the Jersey Bearcats, leading Rokex Sports. And we've been invited to cover Staten Island High School boys and girls all-star soccer as well. So Rokex Sports hosting a flag football tournament that we'll cover on the PDF Sports Network. That is coming up in December. But we've also been contracted to cover some Staten Island all-star soccer, both boys and girls. You covered it last year, Nick.
Yeah. 2 all-time games on PDF, those two.
A pair of thrillers. I think with those games likely being at Peters High School or Wagner, was it, Nick?
It was Wagner last year, yeah.
Yeah, that's more in your stomping grounds. I think you'll probably have that call again.
Be tough to duplicate what Dave and I saw last year. 2 great games, and we'll see what happens this time around. I think we're looking for November, I think, is when that game is being those 2 games are taking place.
Soccer All-Stars take the pitch on PDF in November, and flag football in December. Cella on the design rollout completes, and 2 Knights are there to make the tackle on Magno. He is short of the end zone, tackled around the 4, and that will bring up 4th down.
Yeah, they haven't really been able to get any yardage ever since the penalty happened, Joe. It's been a good job by the Knights these last couple plays.
And, Nick, I mistakenly said that the penalty earlier brought up a 1st and goal. I think it was a 1st and 5. The play was negated, and 5 yards were awarded to the Red Devils. So it was 1st and 5. They can pick up a 1st down around the 3. It is 4th and 2 from the 5 yard line here. Cella looking back toward his own bench. 4th and 2. He keeps it up the middle, and I don't think he got it, Nick. It was close, but he did not get it. And the Knights defense continues to pitch a shutout here in the second half.
And how many times, Joe, have we also seen that this season for the Knights, where even if they were to have bad first halves defensively, their adjustments in so many of these games this season have been so big for them. And they do it again here tonight. After giving up 21 points in a row to start this game, the INT to end the first half, they have now had continuous successful drives defensively here in the second half, pitching the shutout, and are well on their way to their 5th straight victory here late in the season.
I think you really have to be impressed with this performance from the Knights tonight, and that's not to take anything away from the Red Devils. That first half performance of theirs was equally impressive. But in the second half, this Old Bridge defense really dialed it up another level. The offense did the same. And after what we saw for the first 24 minutes, I wasn't sure that you could go up from there, but sure enough, they managed to do it, possibly on the offensive side of the ball and certainly on the defensive side.
Yeah, and like I mentioned earlier, Joe, it's something we've seen this Knights team do all season. Their offense has been doing great this season. They've shown it again here tonight. Their defense has made the adjustments needed mostly here in the second half after a slow first half. And, you know, after this play, I'll mention it, but you and I know how important it is for a team, whether it's the collegiate, the high school, or professional level. Getting a win streak this late in the season just before the playoffs goes a tremendous way for any team.
This Knights team very well could have been unbeaten entering the final week of the regular season. The game at Piscataway was a close one, but they just weren't able to solve the Chiefs' ground game that night, Nick. And I'm a bit surprised that with the early struggles in the third quarter, that the Red Devils didn't try and go to the ground game a bit more. We didn't see many screens either, and I think something that you've been able to utilize against this Knights pass rush this year with some level of effectiveness is the screen game, and we didn't see that tonight. We've seen a couple of teams now find some openings on halfback screens, and I was a bit surprised that we didn't see more of that from Hunterdon Central tonight. Third down, Old Bridge here. Just over 3 minutes remaining, so the Knights might be forced to punt one last time as they take a timeout.
You mentioned, Joe, next week, more than likely looks like you and I will be on the call for the regular season finale for the Knights as they look to make it 6 straight wins to end the regular season.
Yeah, it's been a really impressive season for the Knights, and I think with this being our second year covering Old Bridge football, looking back to year 1 and moving forward into year 2 with a roster that is very, very similar to the squad we saw last year, I think the amount of improvement that we've seen from this team is really striking. You have a lot of the same players. You did lose a key playmaker in Jaden Griffith, but they've managed to step their game up, not just defensively, but offensively as well, despite the absence of a key player.
Yeah, I mean, you see that a lot, and as I mentioned earlier, the professional or collegiate or high school level, you always see those teams, when they bring back players, you're looking for that next step in progression, and the Knights have shown that a lot this season so far.
Hand off up the middle here, and gain of a yard or 2 on that one will bring up 4th down, and the Knights will punt it away here one final time. Looking ahead toward the matchup with Colonia, we've said it more than once already this year. I would say it is definitely a top 3, top 5 maybe all-time broadcast on PDF. You and I didn't call that one, but watching that game back, certainly it ranks in the top 5 in games we've covered here on PDF. You look back at games you and I have covered. The AAL2 Championship was a huge game. That one, a lot of fun. For you and I, definitely up there. But the point is, Nick, next week's game is one that you do not want to miss.
Right.
And a whistle came in ahead of that snap.
There's a flag on the field. Delay game.
Well, that will back the Knights up a bit closer to their end zone. .205 to go, so you figure one set of downs will bring this game to a close as Santos gets that kick away. It lands just shy of the 30 and nearly contacted Ryan White. That was awfully close. But the Red Devils will take over in plus territory at the Old Bridge 38. And Nick, I would say about 3 or 4 months ago, this would be my favorite time of the night. I think they're throwing free pretzels into the stands.
Are they really?
Those are either pretzels or hot dogs. I believe it's pretzels.
It's definitely pretzels. I see the Philly pretzel. Well, it could be a hot dog, maybe.
Yeah, there was a time where I would have been down the staircase, waving my arms in the aisle, making sure I got one.
Yeah.
But those days are over, Nick. I got to enjoy it for 32 years, and one might say 32, that's still young. Well, unfortunately, my body disagrees. A message to the youth out there: eating whatever you want, whenever you want, and however much you want for 32 years, it will catch up to you. Doesn't matter if you're in the gym. It doesn't matter how much you lift. It doesn't matter how much you run. If you eat whatever you want, whenever you want, however much you want, it is not a good idea. Don't do it.
I'm trying to think of what was that show where at the end they would say the more you know, there's like the big star at the end. I can't think of the show name.
Well, those are PSAs.
Those are the PSAs.
Yeah, they're PSAs.
Were those on?
I think I want to say NBC.
It was either NBC
or CBS.
Okay.
I think it's the same network that airs 60 Minutes. That's CBS,
Okay.
right?
I thought it was going to be PBS for a second, but I couldn't remember.
Second down snap. Cella forced to scramble and tackled at the 40. The Knights continue to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield, especially in the second half as Kassoff is in for the sack. Did he get past the line of scrimmage, Nick?
Nope. Lost 2 yards.
We don't have a sack tally, but they're beginning to pile up for the Knights tonight.
If I had to guess, I would say 6. Feels like.
I know for sure they had at least 3 in the first half.
Yeah.
Cella will look to throw here. Again forced to step up, and he was tripped as he crossed the line of scrimmage. That pass lands incomplete. 1:08 to go, and a 4th and 12 coming up. Likely the final offensive snap of the game for Hunterdon Central. It will come from the Old Bridge 40-yard line on a 4th and long. And Nick, if the Knights defense can come up with one final stop, they will have completed a second half shutout. Cella under pressure, running out of time, throws deep, and that one is caught! It looked like Mercel had an easy INT. It went over his head and into the arms of Vasquez.
I cannot believe what I just saw on that play. We saw earlier the tip play that was caught, and that one, as you mentioned, looked like a surefire interception, and instead turns into a first down.
I know what you may have just heard, Nick, and that's a commentator's jinx. Cella throws end zone incomplete.
Flag.
And there's a flag in the secondary.
Wasn't me this time, at least.
Well, I mentioned the potential for a second half shutout. That potential.
Still is there.
That potential.
We saw what happened last time.
Still here.
This happened the same thing last time, where there was a flag in the secondary, looks to be maybe against the Knights defense, and they were able to get a goal line stand. It was against the Red Devils. Eligible man down the field.
We have 48 seconds to go as they sort out this penalty.
I think they're still trying to sort it out. They said an eligible man down the field, and now they're moving Old Bridge back. So whatever signal they gave was the wrong signal.
Still sorting things out. Ball spotted at the 5.
It's effectively, I think, 1st and 5.
Second half shutout on the line, Nick.
The commentator's jinx on the line.
Cella throws. End zone. What a catch. Touchdown, Jaden Cozy. What a grab over the top of 2 defenders.
And Cella, once again, Joe, took a shot at the end. He's down, got up, thankfully, but that's the second time we've seen Cozy.
That's another personal foul for roughing the passer, Nick.
Yeah. That's the second time we've seen Cozy, by the way, Joe, make that exact same catch where it was a little bit high, and he was able to get up there and make a great catch.
That one had to be high. A perfect ball from Cella. And I think a play like that really shows you what the Red Devils were contending with in the second half. This Knights pass rush was getting home, and that throw had to be perfect to be completed, Nick. And when you get that kind of coverage, it's tough to continually complete passes down the field. We saw some great throws in the first half, but the same windows just weren't there here in the second half.
And, of course, go for 2 right here late in this game. But you mentioned it earlier, Joe. Some of the penalties the Knights have been taking late in this game are some that you don't want to build a reputation on with the way that this game has gone. You've got the lead. You just want to get out with the victory. As it looks like they got the 2.
Magno,
they did.
Left alone in the corner of the end zone, taps the toes along the back line and makes the grab for the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, I think the Knights have to clean up these penalties next week, Joe, because they cannot allow this to happen again. You're going to get out of here with the victory, but you need to avoid the amount of penalty yards they've given up tonight. It's been a lengthy one.
.43 seconds on the clock. Do you bother with the onside kick here?
Yeah, you have to.
Do you?
Yeah. You have to, Joe.
Well, it is a two-score game. True.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, you're right. It's a two-score game. I had 17 in my head.
I still think you do it even if it's that score.
If it was 17, I wouldn't. 17 or 18, I wouldn't. 16, of
why
course,
not?
you have to. You have to. You're
Why
right.
not?
You're right.
16, 17, you might as well just do it.
2 timeouts remaining for Hunterdon Central if they could pull off the recovery here.
They have 2?
It says 2 up on the board.
Oh, I didn't say they didn't take a timeout. Oh, well.
I didn't either, to be fair.
Okay.
And they will not
kicked it
onside.
away. All right, never mind. I stand corrected.
Down 2 possessions.
Yeah,
I'm with you, Nick. I'm a bit surprised they didn't
That's-
onside. Here comes another flag.
Flag again. Yeah, I don't know why you won it. I get it. It's late. There's 43 seconds. It would take a miracle and a half, but you might as well just go for the onside there.
Yeah, there's such limited time left. Even if you recovered, it would be highly
You need a touchdown,
unlikely.
2-point conversions on each of the possessions. I get it, but still.
Yeah, in a 2-score game, I'm inclined to say why not.
I would like to at least see the chance.
To be fair, it is fun to call an onside kick, so we're a bit biased.
Yeah.
You always want to see it.
Yeah. We saw.
How many recoveries have we seen, if any?
We saw a squib kick get returned last year, so not really an onside kick, but we did see a squib kick get returned for a touchdown.
Yeah, but have we seen a team recover an onside kick yet?
I don't think so.
I don't believe I've called one.
I don't think so.
As Nugent will take a knee here, I do believe that will be the final play of the game. I don't think they have to run another.
Yep.
And the 2 teams will shake hands at midfield. Our final score, Old Bridge 45 and Hunterdon Central 29. The Knights have now won 5 straight, and they will carry that winning streak into their season finale against Colonia in Old Bridge next week.
Yeah, Joe, impressive showing from both of these teams here tonight. I mean, you couldn't have asked for an incredible first half that we saw. Both teams on their first 3 possessions scored a touchdown. Old Bridge would score on their 4th possession. The difference of this game then started with Old Bridge getting that INT before the first half to go into halftime with the lead, and then their defense really picked it up. From that point of the INT into the second half, they stopped the passing game of Hunterdon after that great first half they had, and that was the big difference of this one. Great passing from Brody Nugent, great runs from both Nugent and Dixon in this game, and as you mentioned, a now 5-game winning streak for the Knights going into their season finale next week, trying to make it 6 in a row before the postseason.
A big-time matchup between Colonia and Old Bridge looming next Friday night. But until then, this has been Joe Foreman alongside Nicholas Bavona for the PDF Sports Network. Once again, our final score, Old Bridge 45, Hunterdon Central 29. The Knights enter their regular season finale 7-1. One more game on the regular season schedule. We'll see you next Friday in Old Bridge.